Yeah, back in the house on a Thursday night. What is up, everybody? Shannon's going through some type of fit over there right now.
As always.
She left pre-show to go get prepared again and came back, so she's got a bunch of stuff happening right there. Yeah, put the hat on, so she's capping it up tonight. Well, welcome in, everybody. First time to the channel. Great to have you here. Just as you know, on Thursdays, we kind of just have a few beers, have some conversation, have a little fun, hopefully a little laughter, and get you guys all set for the weekend upcoming here. So
all the above.
The last Thursday in October, we are here. Crazy, right? Like November is next week.
2 months to go.
Halloween on a Monday.
Seems like this year's just flown by. I don't know, though. It feels like the older I get, the faster it goes.
Yeah. Well, the weekend after this weekend, you get another hour back of 2022, so you can turn clocks back.
Yeah. Still makes no sense why we do that.
It feels like we're still in 2020. I can't. When I look at dates of songs and stuff, and it says 2020, I'm like, that wasn't that long ago, but yeah, it was.
It's hard to tell. This whole COVID thing's kind of screwed up the whole time frame or system or whatever.
Yeah, the whole COVID thing. Now you got this new respiratory thing taking place, which Shannon probably knows about from being a nurse. The R something. Yeah, apparently beds and stuff for kids are being
that's a big thing.
Taken over at places. It's like, and I saw Fauci on the news, and Fauci was like, the last few years of being cooped up from COVID knocked down the respiratory system. It's like, well, you told us to be cooped up.
You're right. I figured that's what's going to happen. Flu's going to be higher just because everybody's immune systems are kind of broken down at the moment.
Yeah. Shout out to Craig in the house. Hello.
What's up, Craig?
Craig, I sent you a link if you want to join us. See how she perked up when Craig was there?
I know.
It is the last Thursday of the month, so this is when we do invite guests in. So we'll see who may show up. But Craig, I know you were live earlier, but if you are free, I did send you a link if you want to join us over here in the States. Over there where he's at, it's actually 1:46, I believe, or 1:48 now. So because he's 5 hours ahead of us. No, you know what? He actually might be 4 hours ahead of us right now. And then when we do it next week, he'll be back to 5.
Okay.
Because there's this little time thing in it. Because I think they shifted back last week, maybe.
They shifted back too?
Yeah, they go to a different time than we do now. Like before us or after. I think it's before us. So for him, it's still early. If it's just 12 something, because he is a night hawk. But on the post out there, for those of you in the chat as well, and for Todd and for Shannon as well, since she's here too. Question of the night: what is a beer that others seem to really enjoy that you feel is overrated? And I know if Joe and Paul were here, they would just love to throw out the one from Bell's. We all know that, but
right.
But I'm sure it wouldn't be their number one choice. It would just be one because they know I like it.
A specific beer or a beer type?
Just specific beer.
Specific.
For me, obviously the Kugel Summer Shandy.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah,
people love when that comes out of the year, and I'm just like, get it out of here,
If we're gonna say specific beers, that one for sure for me probably.
Ooh.
Yeah, Cigar City Highlight, people still love that. I'm like, it don't really do anything for me.
Yeah, but I still drink that one.
Oh, I can
Well, you
drink
can
it,
still drink it.
but I
just-
feel like the hype isn't worth what
Yeah.
actually going
Oh
after
yeah,
now.
not anymore,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, I think that goes along with a lot of the old school kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
somebody
though.
might say Hetty Topper, somebody might
Right,
say
that's what
Pliny.
Eddie Topper, or
I have no
some of
idea.
the Pliny beers, which I'm sure are pretty great still, but if you can never get them.
Yeah.
I can't think of. I mean, I like them all except for if they're. I mean, if it was a style of beer, I'd say IPAs. But
Oh, that was going to be another question, but you're already ahead of the game, like you
I'm
always
glad
are. She's always ahead of the game. But what did you say, Todd? What did you?
I would say the summer shandy as well.
Yeah.
Shandy or whatever it is.
So, do you not like it, or you just think it's overrated?
Oh, I don't like it. I think it's overrated. People
Yeah.
love it though. Like I know people that like
I
look
don't think
forward
so.
to when it comes out each year, and I'm just like, nothing for me. Just
Almost tastes like lemon
not a fan of
flip,
it.
something.
It does. Have,
Hey, we got
Yeah,
Wayne
it's-
in the chat. What's up, Wayne? He said anything. You know, Shannon might agree
That's
with you on
true.
that.
that's true. That is very true. I agree with that.
And Wayne, if you want to jump in, I'll send you a link as well. So for any of the beer guys, this is something I started to do, trying to stay on course with it. The final Thursday of the month have like open panel chat. So I'll shoot you a link if you want to jump in here too. Wayne, I was going to send it to you earlier. They got caught up with work. So, but I like 450. I don't 450. I think 450 North
I
pretty
That's
much.
what I was
like it,
gonna
but
say,
it's
I'm not-
overrated.
Except trusting the ABV. I never know what ABV I'm really. I'm like, again, so
Well,
Ricky
it's not like
Bobby
that.
with the hands. I don't know if the ABV can be trusted still. I have questions about that. It's like watching
Well, I
Fox
think-
News at
I
times.
think the sun's I think you can trust it a little more.
Can you though?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You would hope. But I would hope some people wouldn't do that for him. Just
It's like
because.
who's policing them? Who's actually like making sure the numbers are actually
Oh, I'm
real?
sure there's plenty of people policing them now.
Yeah, there are some people that do actually measure it out and stuff when they get them now to kind of see if they're on point. All right, look at that. That's a man that's always working right there. Yeah, give him about 15. So I got to shoot a quick review. YouTube, man, it's a side hustle. Got to get the review in, son. I'm actually behind on my reviews. It took everything for me to get the one out yesterday for other half, just because schedules are crazy right now.
Yeah, I
So,
saw that one come out. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen it.
it was good. It was the Citra and the Galaxy. So
All right.
thinking of where you're at, if you have Mad Tree and you put the Citra high with the Galaxy high,
Yeah.
that kind of explosion right there.
Combination of two.
Yeah, two of my favorite hops, Citra and Galaxy. Cheers to house, to Blake in the house. What's going on, homie? And it was tasty. I had a 4-pack, and the 4-pack didn't stay around for too long, but I actually put a picture up yesterday where I went through one of the places, grabbed a couple growlers there, almost grabbed some 450 North as well. I said, no, I got too much beer at home. I still got a drink.
Oh, did they have
Yeah.
on
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got like a couple spots with the other half now. Plus they're in DC, so I
that? Well,
get
no,
that.
they had the 450 North.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, the other half. 450 North, I haven't seen anywhere yet. I think there's places you could order it in though, possibly.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Eric sent me a message the other day. He got a 4-pack for it was only like $24. I thought he said.
Up in Michigan.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's some gross for them too then.
but everybody I've seen that's done reviews on them, unless they've come down in the price on them now, that they were buying like single cans of them for like $11.99 or something, which is ridiculous.
Single cans for $11.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard pass for me.
Yeah. That's what
You
He's like, not for that price. No. I was like, no.
good. Would you ain't $11.99 good shit? Oh,
No,
that's that's a little too much for my blood there. For
I guess
what you
they're getting
get
distro
from them.
right now. I mean, even of the single stuff, they're getting it through distro, which I don't even get distro here in the States anymore, or here in Indiana anymore.
Yeah.
Of any stuff, like they used to distro like early on before they started their releases or whatever, but I don't even see any of that anymore.
Well,
So I guess now they just sell it on Tavor or whatever some of those beer apps are.
yeah, when you get them delivered. And
Yeah.
Gilbert's in the house. Cheers as well, Gilbert. And Gilbert, check out that. I know Gilbert's got some on that question of the day, which was up in the comment section. And for everybody else that didn't see it yet, it's pinned to the comments. What is a beer that others seem to enjoy that you feel is overrated? Let's take a look at the beers that are overrated tonight. We got Emerson in the house. Cheers.
What's up, Emerson?
Gang slamming a Voodoo Ranger Juice Force 9.5. I think my face is haunted, and I'm pretty sure I pissed my pants. How's everybody doing this week? Juice Force is a pretty good one from the Voodoo series. Yeah, I did a review on that one too, and it was a pleasure. That was the last one I think I got back into some of their beers. So I missed a few of them that came out. So they always tend to please. And then JT's in the house. Cheers, my friend. Trick or treat, kids.
JT.
You know what's weird is I don't have to prepare for Halloween this year because when we moved here, there's like,
yeah.
I mean, there's like one or two maybe like little kids on the floor, but you can't get on any other floor.
Oh, you can't?
Without a badge. You got to have a badge for that floor.
Oh.
Right. So I'm like, don't got to worry about buying candy or something this year.
Buy a couple candy bars just in case, and then you just give them to them.
I could, but I'm like, yeah, I could, but
just to be prepared.
And like downtown in the city, it's like nobody's going trick or treat in the city, right? Like nobody goes to the stores will be closed. I mean, like, what are you going to do? So you have to go out to the suburbs. So they got to ship them out by these other areas and stuff, and hit the people out there in those communities. But yeah.
Are you doing anything for Halloween?
Nope, nothing planned. Tomorrow's a big day in the gaming world. Modern Warfare 2 drops. So I'll probably be here playing Modern Warfare.
Oh, it's coming out tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be streaming it tomorrow night probably and through the weekend and probably. So I almost thought about taking off tomorrow just to kick back and have a day to just game all day. But it's like, for a game, don't want to waste a day for a game. And I had to debate it for a little bit because it's like, this is a big thing. But yeah, so now I'll go in and then.
Same time.
Yeah, but to sit here working, see, this is where you work from home and you're sitting here working. I turn this way, there's my PlayStation, and it's just like
teasing you all day.
Knowing that people are there playing right now, and this is like within hands, like reach, just like gotta work. So yeah, tomorrow getting off won't come quick enough for me.
It'll drag on all day long.
Headline not for a pale? No, that was for 450 North, which are usually sour ales that we were talking about, but there probably are pale ales for $11.99 out there. But are we talking about a 16-ounce can? Like you see something like there was one I saw when I went to the beer store that I posted that picture, and it was from the brewery, and it was like $13, but it was like a 22-ounce bottle, which wasn't bad.
No, that's
and for a brewery beer, that's awesome. And then think 450 North is like, we'll give you like a 16-ounce, but it's going to cost you like $12. It's like $1 an ounce. I mean, that's more. That's $1, but like $1.10 or something, more than $1 an ounce. So it's kind of like, yeah. See, I calculate these numbers in my head, Shannon. When I look at stuff like that. Get the values. Yeah.
I look at it. I'm like, okay, this is $11. Maybe it's more expensive than the other beers, but do I have $11? Yes, I'm going to get that beer.
Yeah. See, I'm like, you're not going to get me with that move, Copper.
But I'll be happy drinking my beer, and you'll be still thinking about the beer you didn't buy that you wanted.
Yeah. I mean, there was some that'll do that. Like it's, someone's Bourbon County, right? That comes out in a few weeks, and we get some of the various. It's like a 16-ounce bottle, be like $22 or something. Yeah. I mean, there's times you pay up for stuff depending on what it is, but you know the history of it. You know it's worth it to pay that amount and some of that stuff. When there's a question around it, I'm like, yeah. But you can't buy everything.
Never know.
No. Overrated beer that others enjoy. Anything but Hop Butcher. What? Wow. It's coming from a Chicago man. Woo, anything by Hop Butcher. Did not see that coming.
No.
What's the not love about Hop Butcher about there, JT? Although somehow I must have fell off their mailing list, I guess. The only beers I've had this year are the ones that were sent by Big Daddy. So, Bill's in the house. What up, Beer House? Cheers, homie.
Beer Hounds.
What is going on, my friend? How is it out there in the OC tonight? And again, anybody that, I opened it up for all the beer tubers. Anybody has a beer channel that wants to join in, just let me know. And get a link over to you so you can come in and talk about your channel. This is what I do now the last weekend of Thursday. So it's not just me and Todd or me, Todd, and Shannon just shooting the kind of having a little bit of a Sharon type experience. Not like a key party Sharon type experience.
That's what
None of that swinging stuff is happening, but you just spill your beer?
No, I started to pour it as a big crowler and it started dribbling out for some reason. So yes, I guess I did.
My schedule got changed, so I have to work tomorrow, so I'm not going to be on here the whole time.
That's what people say.
I
So
know.
Todd, what did you crack open before I crack mine open?
So this is a crowler from Fistful of Ales, which is a nano brewery here, pretty local that we've been going to. The Quadra IPA.
Oh, there you go.
I could say.
What's the ABV on that one?
I was just looking it up. It doesn't say on the can.
It's probably on only tapped or whatever.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to pull up. Well, I mean, I had it up.
If it's a Quadra IPA,
11.8.
It's got to be big because I'm thinking 10.5 is usually like one triple. So if it's quad, you have to go bigger than that.
I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Well,
is that the one
that was the new one?
The one that I tasted that you said it wasn't very hoppy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Oh,
okay.
No,
I've already tried it.
Let's see here. And that's from Fistful?
Fistful of Ale.
Yeah, that's our new brewery.
IPA. Nice. Oh, shit. Only 12 people have had it. 10 of them being unique, so only a couple people went back for it. 11.8 ABV. No one's put a rating in yet. Wait a minute, I'll take that back. There were 7 ratings, but it doesn't have enough for an average yet.
Yeah.
Dave C gave it 4.5 out of 5. Oh, you just put it in. You did a 3.75 out of 5?
No, I did that. That was back October 1st.
Oh, so we're going back in.
I've done it already before because this was the new beer for our beer club that we joined last month, where they did once a month. And you get, for the couples, it's $69, but you get 4 crowlers, a bit of a dinner, I guess you could say, and then like 2 beers each, and a couple tasters when we go. So it's not too bad. It's a pretty good deal, really.
Gilbert said pastry stouts. But I was looking on the question for a particular beer, but style was going to be upcoming as well. Because Shannon had already said IPAs. But pastry stouts.
I know.
Bart's in the house. Cheers, Bart. What is up?
Bart?
All is well. Hopefully you are too, my friend. There's Big Daddy in the house. Overrated. There you go. You had to throw Oberon in there, didn't you? He said Spotted Cow and Oberon. I don't even know who you are anymore, Big Daddy. You throwing Oberon in the mix. Spotted Cow. I still really haven't had Spotted Cow, so I can't say anything about it, but I've heard other people say it was overrated. I think that's one that caught up with time.
Here's a question for you.
What you got?
And then Untapped and at the crowler, would you put it as a can or would you put it as a draft? Because it comes off the draft in the can.
Oh, you put it as a crowler. You should have a crowler.
Okay, oh, there's one. I just didn't scroll over for it.
It's not Tinder, Todd. There's more to scroll to. It's not just one scroll.
I just didn't want to swipe where I left and just be safe, you know.
Jesus Christ.
There's more on it.
I forgot about that. I never had to scroll that far over. So,
Shipyard Smashed Pumpkin Ale and a Sierra Nevada Celebration up next. Oh, Celebration! Celebration out already for this year? Or was that one you held on to? It might be out now because Christmas stuff is out.
I was gonna say I just saw one of our beer stores posted today, and they always post their incoming beers, and it was what did they have? It was a Christmas beer of some sort.
What's Shannon drinking? What are you drinking? Oh, look at you going Modelo with the Chilada action.
Tastes like Bloody Mary.
So today is American Beer Day, I guess.
That's what I saw. I looked at National American Beer Day and it said April 4th, but I saw people post American Beer Day.
Well, I just got a badge when I just checked that in on Untapped and it said American Beer Day.
I guess I'll get one here in a second, too.
I was like, didn't even know that. How bad's that?
No. JT said, Hot Butcher's beers are also saturated with hot particulate that I get bad reflux every time I drink one.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they do kill that. But the stout game is tight at Hot Butcher. They got some good stouts there, too. So I don't know if you have had any of those as well, JT. Sipping on Imperial Anti-Hero from Revolution.
Oh,
10%.
nice.
There you go.
Not Big Daddy.
That sounds like a nice one as well. Tonight, enjoying Attend by Half Acre, a winter IPA.
Oh my
I need to try. I think I got a place that does Half Acre beers.
Oh, I
need to
can't
pick up some.
They do some good stuff.
Mark's in the house. Cheers, Mark. Good to see you, my friend.
Mark.
Man, I got to try a pumpkin beer. Just not sure what to get. I just picked up the first pumpkin beer. I haven't even drank it yet or done the review, but it was the Greater Pumpkin from Heavy Seas that I did on the last unboxing, I think. And I think it's 10% ABV on that one. But pumpkin season, I could do a pumpkin here and there, but I don't seek it out like a lot of people do.
I don't know if maybe it is a Christmas sale. Southern Tier, the frosted sugar cookie.
I've seen that before in past years, but I haven't tried that one.
Well, I mean, it looks like on the box it would be, it would be.
Yeah, it's got a Christmas tree on it.
But I know, but usually it'll say like Christmas sale or something, but I can't blow it up big enough to see if that's what it says or not.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones out there, Mark, depending on what you want to get into. Dogfish, their pumpkin is actually pretty good. The one from Avery Brewing, the ones they might knock you in your ass a little bit. They're like 17%, but they're pretty good as well. The Pump KY that they come out with.
Yes.
Definitely more of a sipper with those.
It will do some damage for sure.
Yeah.
Well, then you can do like Pumpkin or
Pumpkin's always Warlock. I'm more of a Warlock than a Pumpkin, but both of those from Southern Tier are pretty solid.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, speaking of Southern Tier.
Yeah, the place I went to, they had a bunch of Oktoberfest on tap. They were trying to get that all off. They're like, yeah, Oktoberfest stuff is kind of down right now. Like people get burned out on after a point, right? You get all these Oktoberfest beers.
Well, yeah, especially since it's been out since July.
Yeah, it's definitely been out for a good amount of time.
I started getting it in July.
Well, Pumpkin came out in July, but I think Oktoberfest they came out a little bit more. But yeah,
I always tend to just kind of lump all those together for
And now Christmas is out. Christmas came out last like 2-3 weeks ago, and it's just like you even got the other stuff off the shelf. Now you got the Christmas beers, like Great Lakes and all them being out there. It's like
make room on their taps for the Christmas.
What's the rush? Yeah. So at this pace, we'll have the spring beers by Thanksgiving.
I figured this week is the week that Pumpkin Ale and the Oktoberfest should be coming out. I guess Oktoberfest should come out sooner because of Oktoberfest. But
Beer Island says Celebration just came out and it's so yummy. Yeah, you got it really fresh then, as it just came out too. Collective Arts number series of IPAs are overrated. That's you guys wrote to the board of the Love Collective. What was that number 5? Everybody kept talking about.
Yeah.
After that, it kind of died down a little bit, but number 5 was when everybody was all going crazy for. CB in the house. Cheers, CB. See you doing well over in Westva. I've not had a stout by Hot Butcher. It's sometimes hard to find any of their beers near me unless I go to the bottle shop or Benny's. But their new tap room is less than 1 mile from my apartment. That's funny how you're right there, and it's still hard to find them on stuff unless you go to the actual spot. Yeah, their stouts are really good. I think some of their stouts are better than their IPAs. They just kind of that IPA push there.
A couple stouts I've had from I would have to agree with you.
Yeah. And even like I think they did like a lager that was pretty good, like a lime type lager and some other stuff. So Shipyard, my favorite so far. Shipyard's all right. I saw one of the guys do a review on it. I think it was Dave's on Dave's TV, and he didn't get much pumpkin from it. I think he had asked about Brian as well. Brian didn't get much off of it either, but always depends on some of those. Shipyard overall does a decent job. I was going to pick up the Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin beer, but didn't grab it when I saw it. He said, I just don't go crazy for pumpkin. Like you guys like pumpkin spice kind of thing. Like you get the pumpkin coffees and stuff like that, pumpkin donuts, and like all
Look at
kinds
the-
of
Creamer, pumpkin creamer.
pumpkin creamer.
Creamer or whatever.
But I mean, I could do without it. It's not like
Yeah,
don't go crazy over it.
yeah,
It's a nice change.
yeah. I get the Cold Stone creamer.
See,
Cold
I've
Stone's
had
pretty
that. I don't
tasty.
know. I just like more.
You don't even need sugar or anything with it. It's just like it's so sweet. You just put it right in there. Couple tablespoons or whatever, and you're good to go. Beer Hound said, "The One Hot Butcher and was very impressed." Yeah, they'll get you coming back for more.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean their IPAs are great too. Their stouts, like you said though, they are pretty damn good.
You know, shout out to our first guest of the night. We got Wayne in the house from Wayne's Beer Delivery.
Wayne,
Cheers,
Hey,
Wayne.
Hey,
How's it going down there in South Kakalaka?
Well, it just can't make up its mind. Is it fall, summer, or winter? That's
you're right.
You got a few things happening.
Oh yeah, you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's freezing, and you're sweating by the afternoon.
Yeah.
About what it was today. You got up this morning and it was like 32 degrees.
was
and
it
then-
really?
Yeah, because Coyote
Damn.
said she had to scrape her windows this morning
Ooh.
for school.
Like a little
And by the
frost,
time you get
yeah.
off work, it's like 67, 68 degrees or something.
Yeah, I turned the heat off. I had to turn the heat on. I turned it off and opened the windows today.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not missing that region as much for the weather's sake and things as it is right now. I mean,
Mhm.
we haven't really to deal with a lot of that stuff. We're still got windows open. We had air conditioning on a few days ago. It's, right today, I think it was like 68, 70 or something. So,
You can open your
Pretty
windows in an apartment in a high rise.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. But you thought you couldn't for some reason?
well, like when
or-
you go to a hotel room, you can't open the windows.
They don't want nobody to jump. That's liability
Well, I
exposure.
didn't. They want you to have apartment buildings. And have,
Well, here everybody's got their own insurance, so if you jump, that's
You're right.
yeah. Yeah. So it was funny though with our windows here. At first, we couldn't figure out how to get them open, and then we realized one of them had been like a little warped or whatever, so you couldn't get them push up and everything. But then once we figured it out, yeah, it's nice. But you know what the funny thing is here in Baltimore that I noticed versus Cincinnati, I have not seen any window washers.
oh, really?
Like not just on any of the high rises.
Huh?
Like in Cincinnati, we had them all the time, like up there doing stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. Like
Are the windows dirty on the outside?
they can be at points, like you have birds and stuff that hang out or something like that and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe the rain washes it away sometimes, but I think about Cincinnati, like they'd always have window, like you'd be there working and window washer would be coming down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like these windows are high up, so we don't really. They haven't really been washed like properly, but a couple of times since we've lived here,
Yeah, probably.
and they're
Yeah,
not
they,
that bad.
Yeah, they need to be washed.
Well, yeah, they do, but
Yeah, so maybe it's an East Coast thing. I don't know. So what you drinking tonight, Wayne?
Well, since it's getting colder out, we've got Revolution Brewing's Vanilla Death.
Oh, okay.
It was a gift from one of my beer buddies out in Colorado. This is a Imperial Stout barrel aged little session beer. It's only 13.6% ABV.
Yeah.
Just a little session. Yeah, I like that.
Just a hair.
Just a hair.
That series
There you go.
is so good though.
Just the hair of the dog.
Yeah. Their series that Revolution makes, those stouts are phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's
So,
like a one and done night for me. So
well, the Chicago contingent here will probably be happy to see you drinking one of the beers from one of their breweries. I'm actually going to crack this one open now, and I think I may have done one of these before on this show. I can't remember offhand, but this is going to be from RAR or RAR Brewing out of Cambridge, Maryland. The Wickedly Rested 12% ABV barley wine aged in bullet rye barrels with cherries, sweet orange peels, and cocoa nibs. Wickedly Rested. There we go.
Chocolate orange.
Yeah. And this was one of the earliest, I won't say earliest because I had some before there, but definitely one of the Rod J deals I found around town too. So and they still had some of these left.
deals.
Are you
Yeah.
bright?
Well, I got this. I think when I got this, they were, let's say $6.99, and they were usually like 16 or something. So
Nice.
and I'm like, well, shit, you can
Sign
save
me
that for
up.
as long as you wanted to. I'm like, there's still some on the shelves. I went back again and got more. I was like, okay, I'm
Why
giving
not?
you guys a chance. If nobody else going to come back, I'll come back again.
Hey, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to share the wealth here. You
And
know.
your shot, no more.
But we were talking earlier, Wayne. So, and that was the question in the comment section. And what beer do people seem to really enjoy that you feel is overrated?
As in a particular beer, a brewery, or style?
Right now, just beer, but we're going to do style here next. Well, now that he brought that up, we'll do brewery too. So,
Oh yeah, we didn't say brewery. We just said style and specific.
You know, it's kind of hard for me to say because there's so many out there I haven't tried. But of course, when I was in the comments, it said 450 North, which may be jumping the gun there because I can't remember if I've had one or not. I'm going to say, and this is going to be controversial, especially if my podcast mates are listening, but I think Treehouse might be just a tad overrated.
Treehouse, wow, did not see that one coming. Okay,
No, not at all.
And here's why I say that is because I mean they do make a great juicy IPA, but they all kind of taste a little similar. Like they're all almost like the same beer, just a little bit of difference here and there.
Okay.
Haven't had enough Treehouse to really say.
Yeah, I haven't seen as much. I feel like I should be able to see more when I'm here on the East Coast now again, but I don't think I've still had them since the ones Joe sent us before.
Yeah, I think that's the only time I've ever had them. So you haven't seen them at all at any places?
I haven't seen them at any of my places yet. So, but Treehouse has been one of those ones too. It's kind of like, you know,
What about like Trillium?
is that a hype brewery? You know,
Right. You know, it's everyone's hyping it up. So
yeah.
What about Trillium? You get any of those?
I have not seen any Trillium as well, so that would be one I would definitely keep my eye out on if I happen to see it pop up somewhere.
Yeah.
Even at Total Wine, I haven't seen it over there when I went out there and stuff. So
Probably get some 5-year Trillium there if you look hard enough.
Yeah, they still had some of their stuff not rotated well, and
You get last
they
year.
actually sent me a survey, and I put that in a thing about, you know, the one thing I would say is you guys need to rotate your beers better because you have old beers out here that shouldn't be out on the shelves type thing. So, and then they sent me a thing like, "Well, we mind if we cause you to kind of follow up or something like that." They haven't done it yet that I'm aware of, but I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd be more than happy to tell you how to fix what's going on here. I got time to give you my 2 cents. With inflation, it might be worth 1 cent, but I'll still give it to you.
Right. Those just send you a voucher in the mail for $3 off or something.
But you know, trio. Well, since we're on the point, we want to go style. Or we want to go brewery right now, like
Style or what?
or brewery that we feel might be overrated that people really like. Well, Shannon already said IPAs.
Yeah.
But then Wayne already threw Treehouse, so we got like both categories kind of open right now.
Yeah.
check.
I would say style-wise, I'm enjoying one now. Well, that's for a different one. I'm going to wait to see what I'm going to say that's for. But I was going to say one that you really like that other people have trouble with as far as the style. And for that, I was going to say barley wine because I really like barley wines, but I think some people struggle with them. As far as a style, I'm going to come back to it again. It's going to be Shandy. Shandy style for me. Just that would be the ultimate one that's up there that a lot of people tend to enjoy that style that I'm not big into. As far as a brewery, well, there's other reasons involved, but I could easily throw Founders out there, right? But that's got a bunch of baggage with that one there.
Easy target for you on that one.
That's like low hanging fruit for that thing right there. That's a good one with the brewery thing. I can't think of which one might be one. I would probably say one as a major one that I find now are more hit and miss than anything. It's kind of been a little bit with Guinness, has been kind of a brewery that way. Now that I have the Guinness brewery here, it's almost like I'm only surprised if I go there because I can get this small batch brewing. But their stuff out on the shelves, I'm not overly impressed with a lot of their stuff they put out there. If it's not the foreign extra stout, the other stouts don't stack up for me now. The blonde ale was never a huge one there.
They always seem thin for one, I think.
Yeah, well, a lot of them do unless you get like the more fuller foreign extra stout. Even the regular extra stout, I'm not a huge fan with there, but that would be kind of a major type brewery along those lines. And then, what about you for style then, Wayne? Since you said like
A style that's overrated or a style that I like?
A style that's overrated by a lot, but you're not really a big fan of. A style that's a lot of people like, but you feel is overrated.
I will agree on the IPAs, and it's not that, okay, so 2 years ago when I started this, you couldn't really even pay me to drink an IPA, and now it seems like I reviewed them more than anything else. But they're decent, but to me there's too many different other styles out there to just say, oh, I just want an IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Imperial Stouts.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
An IPA is better than this? Come on. Traditional styles tend to get way overlooked, and everyone thinks just the basic lagers are traditional style, but there's other styles out there that just have got a lot of complexity and a lot of breadth to it, and I think if you're just IPA only, you're overlooking a lot of things.
Definitely agree with that.
Hell, what was on that list last week, right, at the Great American Beer Fest? 80-something categories.
Yeah, what I'll do, yeah.
I mean, I know they're all different types of like stouts or IPAs and stuff, but still like 80 some odd different categories. Like that seems.
Well, it was like a hazy IPA or something, a juicy IPA or something. It was like, just way too many, and that's the thing when you go into a brewery and it's like you got 10 taps and 6 of them are IPAs or something, or 5 of them are. It's like,
yeah,
is there a choice? That's why I like the one brewery we got here, Guilford, because they don't serve an American IPA, and it's all European style, so it's mainly lagers, and you can get like a British pale ale, but they're all like from European type field beers, which is nice. It's a big change because you can get like a Bock, you can get a stout, you can get a porter, you can get different stuff. Their Oktoberfest was really good, so just a nice change up,
So that's what I'd do if I had a brewery. I'd have like 5 mainstays of like an IPA, a stout, or in a Hefeweizen or lager or something, easy drinking for not so much of the craft beer drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
And have like 4 or 5 rotating that you want to do, like a specialty beer or something, and rotate them in a smaller batch just so you can go through them,
What is that style of the banana beer I like so much?
Hefeweizen.
I think that was a cream ale.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it a cream ale or Hefeweizen? Because that's got like banana notes
No,
too.
Yeah,
it
this
wasn't
was
a Hefeweizen.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a cream ale. It's pretty good though. It's
I love
straight up
it.
like bananas.
It's getting ready. They're getting ready
If it hasn't already.
to go out though.
For me, style would be the seltzers.
Is that really a beer style?
But it's like, we don't put them in beer. We don't put them in beers, are we? That's a flavored malt beverage.
If you're gonna go that route, you could say that about a lot of stuff, though.
I mean, but seltzer to beer?
They sell them. Bud Light, Budweiser, they all sell them. So, where's the bread?
You could check them in on malts, hops. There's no malts and hops. I don't, to me.
No, I agree.
But I know what you're saying. Like, you could check them in on Untappd's acceptance list. Check.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of beer companies that are making seltzers that classify it as a beer, but I'm like you, I wouldn't still classify it as a beer, but
I mean, the label they have on it is a flavored malt beverage, but they're kind of getting lost in the shuffle there for sure.
Yeah.
It's like putting Zima back on the shelf again. Nobody wants that. If you remember Zima the first time, or even the second time when they tried to bring it back out.
I used to drink Zima the first time they brought it out.
Well, that's on you, as Joe was saying. That's not anything you have to share with people, Shannon. I'm just saying. Like TMI.
Let's see. Now you're gonna make me think of something else now, I guess, huh?
Let me see the comments here. So Beer Hound said, honestly, Shipyard Pumpkin's the only beer he likes from Shipyard. So maybe they're like an overrated type brewery. Overrated as well. Most Three Floyds, Big Daddy said. Three Floyds is an interesting call there. Haven't had any Three Floyds in a while. I will say, as far as a beer that I like, but I feel like it's kind of overrated as well now, would be Zombie Dust. I feel like everything else that's out there is kind of caught up with it. So,
well, yeah.
But I would still drink it. I still like it. It's just, it's not what it used to be as far as getting that attention.
You don't get as excited about it as you used to.
I remember when they first started showing up at stores, it was like people would buy them out like crazy. Like you had to be there when they showed up, or else you weren't getting any.
Well, yeah, they just mass produce that one so much now that you don't have to. It just sits on the shelves now.
I don't know what you just saw there, JT, but it was enough to make him turn off the game. So, I mean, NFL refereeing is still bad, right? It's been bad for years.
Boo and hiss. Damn.
But at least he didn't throw something to the TV set. So.
Well, we don't know he didn't.
Well, that's true too. Dump a couple of teaspoons of pumpkin spice in a sandwich bag and huff it throughout the day. Rolling into the autumn. Romantic. That's funny, Emerson. What if people started breaking out pumpkin spice and baggies in the office? People might go crazy. There are some people that legitimately get hyped up when it's pumpkin season. They're just
they do. That's for
sure.
It's
like crack to them, you know.
They're called basic bitches.
That's what they're called.
Basic bitches.
Yeah.
BBs. Yeah, American Beer Day 2022. I just got that as well for the tap. So I don't know why we need a badge saying American Beer Day. I feel like that's every day in America, but
yeah.
Another thing to make up there, I guess. Hey, we would make up a new badge. We call it American Beer Day. You mean Thursday?
Every day is American or national or something day.
Yeah, his beer is no joke. At Beer Hound, if you want to jump in too, let me know. We get
this beer is no joke.
Yeah, I mean, mine is only a little 12%, so, you know. Although it is a bigger can, it's 16 ounces, so.
Mine like 4 or something.
Not that it's about the size of the can or the ABV.
Oh, hang on. Does it say on there? I don't see it.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Oh.
3.5.
Yeah, I have to stick with the low ones. I mean,
well, you got to work in tomorrow. Well, we all got to work tomorrow, right? We're all working.
I get drunk so easy. Like, I can't do anything over like a 6. A 6% is about as high as I can go, or I'm done with.
I've seen you go higher before, and those were fun events too.
Oh, Jesus.
805 overrated. Well, that's Firestone Walker. So, actually, I've only had like a couple of the Firestone, but I've had a couple of their nicer ones that are like their specialized bottles. Like I got one of the Parabolas in here right now, and I had their lime Mex Cali, I think, or something, and a couple of their other ones. So,
I mean, if I can't go with the seltzer, I'd have to just go with the shandy.
Still haven't tried a Yingling beer yet. I heard it's overrated. It can be, depending on what you're actually drinking, I guess. Like, for instance, a lot of people are getting the Hershey's right now, the Hershey's
I like that one.
which is nice, but it is thin. but you do get a nice flavor of the chocolate coming through. And if you're a fan of Hershey's candy, I think you definitely pick that up in the beer itself. So it kind of works well. But
that one's pretty decent.
Their lager's an easy drinker. I mean, but it's not going to be like a standout type thing. Their black and tan is fine, but it's thin as well. So yeah, I like Yingling as far as something like, if I had to go to like a backyard barbecue and it was like, okay, we only got lagers in there, Yingling would be just fine to throw in. I would drink that way more before like Bud or Coors or Miller, all of them other ones. I think it has more flavor. So America's oldest brewery. And what better on American Beer Day than Yingling, America's oldest brewery. That should have been a commercial.
Yeah. Or a radio commercial. Yeah. Advertisement.
Put the disclaimer in there, right?
I know. Yingling, if you use that, I will sue the hell out of you. I'm going straight Kanye on your ass. Just saying.
God.
Dude.
Let's get back on his meds.
Well, what's the old saying? A fool was soon parted, separated, whatever, from his money or whatever. He's proven that. He's proven it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, it's... I'm not going to get into that whole ramification, but I'm like, dude, you just need to like shut the hell up. Like,
I'm sure everybody's telling him that loves him to shut the fuck up, but he's not going to do it.
Sour's overrated too. I like some sours though. I think they're done right. They can be some great sours, but there's definitely been some that haven't really held up, I think, as well as others.
Yeah. It's too hard to drink a whole can or a whole glass of a sour. Like,
not for me, it's not. Like, I just got one from Dewey's Beer Company, their secret machine, which is a great variant that they do. And just drink it right. You could easily chug right through it if you're not careful. But I've had some that are like too tart.
Yeah.
Over the top.
Over the top, too sour. And it's just like, you didn't want to finish it even. Yeah. So it all depends. Like, we're up from where you guys are, where I was in Cincinnati, Urban Artifact, they do a lot of great sours. But you got to have that right balance into the beers too, so it doesn't overkill you with the flavor. Good right now. I look like crap. you can put on a hat like Shannon. Yeah, I say Yingling's overrated. It tastes like Old Style with its like mild taste and macro adjunct lager. I would say it's better than Old Style. I wouldn't, Although Dave, who couldn't be here tonight, Beer in Front, that's one of the beers for the Beer in Front Awards, which I can't get Old Style here, so I'll probably have to pass on that one. But I remember the old cans of that and everything. Have you had that before, Wayne, the Old Style? Like back in the day, or?
Maybe back in high school. Long time ago.
That would have been one of the ones in high school we would have grabbed or something, just like, we don't know what this is. We'll drink it. It's a beer. All right.
Oh, that was pretty decent.
We didn't know Schlitz wasn't that good until later on.
He does.
That's not good at the bottom over here. Now you can.
Just going to try regular Yingling. Yeah, the Yingling lager is decent enough. Pierre said, "What's up with Kanye? He's freaking out. He's off the meds, man. As far as that's what I'm kind of thinking." So
something.
All these ads we see about mental health, he's right there. Get your mental health checked, I guess. But I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of like now Pete Davidson looks like the same one. So like, see, Pete Davidson, like, see, that's what I was talking about. All I got is a bunch of tattoos.
I think they're all crazy.
Hollywood can do that to people too. So, but yeah, like, who was it? One of the reporters was showing like he had the Yee shoes, right, that were with Adidas. They were selling for $5 something, I think, which I would never pay $5 for a pair. That's just me. Those sneakers were $5 something out there. I mean, unless that's like diamond encrusted or something like that, it's going to appreciate. I'm like, I'm not going to do that because you're not going to wear it. I just put it in a glass case if that was the situation. But the reporter ended up getting them now for like $300. So like almost half price for what they were like last week or whatever. So yeah, it's a quick meltdown. I mean, the only person that's probably happy about this is Will Smith because nobody's talking about him anymore. Yeah. And he's got a movie coming out in December on Netflix. So he's the only one probably happy right now because all else shift. But if you're talking about Kanye, then this movie will come out and people start liking him again.
The other thing too is if he really wanted to get out of his contract with Adidas, I mean, now he's out of his contract without any prepayment penalties.
Well, yeah.
Gonna get out of all of his contracts.
He's lost a lot of his contracts, yeah, and he's not a billionaire anymore by the numbers. So at the same point, like all the people that are worried about what happened, I'm like, he's still richer than all of you. So I'm like,
Yeah,
still be
really.
all right, you know.
Right?
Yeah, I have not shed a tear over any billionaire before. So I don't think I'm gonna start doing it now. So
No, that's for sure.
Is Yingling better than Modelo? I would say it is.
Really?
Yeah. For me, I think it is.
I don't know.
Modelo's not bad. I just think Yingling's better.
Yeah.
It depends on what I'm having. If I just want to sit down and drink a few beers at a time, Yingling is fine. But I love Yingling, but I think Modelo might just be a touch better to me.
Maybe it depends on what you're doing, I guess. Like if I'm in a Chipotle having a burrito because they sell Modelo there, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, that's a nice little flavor added to it with that type of lager.
I just think you all have a much more complicated palate than I do because I'm like, I tasted it's good. That's good. That's all. I don't compare it to what I've drank before. Or, like it's in front of me. I'm drinking it. I'm enjoying it. That's
I think
all
we
I'm
get.
thinking about.
It's not hoppy and
It's not hoppy.
I would say both are definitely better than Bud. So I don't know if we get a full agreement on that.
I would agree.
Bears, I do like Modelo. See a story about Yee being he went to Skechers.
Thought that was just a fucking like. I didn't
He thought it
know
was
that
like just
real.
some joke or something. They're gonna sign that live stream
Yeah.
or something, right? Like, no, he went to Skechers and I guess he's gonna try to get some type of deal, and they had to escort him out with security and kind of stuff. Like, dude, you just can't walk in like unannounced, and we're a company. Yeah, so
Skechers. I mean, I like Skechers, but Skechers is not like the,
Skechers like the old man jogging or old woman jogging
they're
type shoe.
comfortable.
Exactly. That's why they fit the old people like us.
They got movement. Yeah, I'm there.
I'm not saying we're not. I mean, I don't have any. My wife has some, but I don't have any.
I don't
She
think I
says I'm
have it
comfortable
right
with
now,
her.
but I'm not against them.
Yeah.
But they're the white.
They're like dress shoes.
Yeah.
No, my tennis shoes are Skechers.
Oh, are they? Yeah.
I like them because you ain't got to tie no shoestrings. You just slide them on and go.
That's what older people need. Just
Yeah, that's
right
I'm like that kind of supports what we were just saying.
Yeah, but they're not the old white ones like
No, that's
mowing
fair.
shoes or
That's
whatever.
fair. That's fair.
with some old Skechers and some high water jeans and go out to the park and do some walking.
Good socks.
Oh. Let's see here.
one more.
Say it's part Modelo, I think I would
Get
like
over
it. Tecate is superior, my favorite lager at the moment. I do like Tecate. I've had that before as well.
I've never heard of Tecate.
It's all this TECATE.
Yeah.
It's one of the other like Mexican lagers, which nobody really knows what Mexican lager means. It's not really a style, but yet people adopt it as a style.
Mm-hmm.
Big days. I love Yingling. I wish it was still in Chicago.
It's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, you'd have to go to Michigan. No, it's only like in
42
states. Yeah. What's that at Tecate?
Here, but it's only
in
here about
Tecate.
7 years or so, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I had Tecate. I think when I had Tecate, it was out of Mexico, actually. And you start planning another trip to go overseas here at some point,
Ugh,
or out of the country.
amazing.
We might try to go to Spain or something next year, maybe. That'd be cool. Still want to go to Amsterdam at some point as well. All right, so the other question was, so what is the beer style that you really like that you feel like doesn't get any love from other people,
Oh, that's
or is underappreciated?
a Hefeweizen all day, every day.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
Hefeweizen.
that is
There
like
you
I
go.
could. Yeah, I love Hefeweizens.
I can get down with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's pretty good.
like every time we go to a new brewery, I'm like, do they have a Hefeweizen? Do they have a Hefeweizen? And a lot of times they don't, or they
Yeah.
have like one.
What about you, Todd?
I'm trying to think. I'm looking up some here now just to see if anything jumps out at me. Style that I think is underrated.
No,
No.
that people don't, that they don't. You
No,
don't
so,
have a lot of places. And,
one that you like that isn't appreciated or
Well,
yeah,
yes.
okay.
like
Yeah.
underrated by others. You're right. You're
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, y'all confusing me now. Which way is it?
right.
Hmm.
You know, another one I do not like is a mead. I do not like meads.
You don't like
Is that
mead?
beer?
That's well, mead's like a honey wine.
Yeah, I don't like.
Yeah,
I
I got a bottle of mead I need to do at some point here.
Yeah, it's not big on honey.
Well, there's different styles of it too. I mean, you may not like one, but you might like some other type of one.
I kind of would think, sort of, maybe the barley wine.
Really? Okay.
Because I don't think a lot of people do like those, and I just don't think they're very. Most breweries, when you go to, you don't see them a lot of times.
Right.
I just think it's. I don't think there's enough call for them to where a brewery wants to make them.
Well, it's a lot of risk for a brewery because they got to be
Well,
able to sell it. So
yeah,
that's why you see a lot of them do small batch stuff because.
right. No, I like a good barley wine, but
Yeah.
I just don't see it very often or see them all that much, really.
I'm liking this one right here. That's for sure. Who about you, Wayne?
I am going to say either a Schwartz beer or a red or brown ale.
Ooh, there you go. I like that because all three of those are like underrepresented out there too.
Up until a couple of years ago, I'd say no in the brown ale, but I would agree with that now, though, for sure, because
Yeah.
that was never really a style I'd ever gravitate towards. But since I've been drinking them a lot more here lately, or lately within the last couple of years, I would definitely agree with you on that one for sure, Wayne.
What's a Schwartz beer?
It's a dark or black lager.
Right. So you basically change the malts out and you get more of a chocolate type feel in your lager.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So like a
Schwartz
stout
beer's
one.
always good. Kind of, yeah, because of the malts and everything. You're getting
Yeah.
more of that chocolate. Yeah. I would
Yeah.
say
Oh, go
for
ahead.
me, it would probably be the rock beer. Would probably be the one I feel like I always love enjoying those, and I feel like it's not a style that a lot of breweries have really been able to pick up or do because it is a tough little matchup being a lager like it is and being smoked. But I always love a nice smoked rock beer lager. Gives you that campfire type feel. You just sit back, relax, like you can just chill with it, everything like that. And I think for me too, it just brings back memories of like campfires or bonfires when we were kids, or being out camping, or just being outside somewhere. You feel like it's so fulfilling of a beer that it just brings back different visions with it. And it's like the way some of them are done, it's kind of like you got like breakfast in a glass, like you get like a bacon type feel sometimes for the smokiness. And
Only had it.
yeah, you just feel like I'm gonna go put on a flannel shirt and go cut down a tree. You know, where's my axe? I'm about to get after it.
Like the beer club thing we're going to, but since we jumped in late, we haven't really had any input on it. But I think how many people they have?
Like 40, I think.
Maybe they top it out at 40 people or whatever.
Mhm.
But they've all had their inputs on what they would like to see. So they're going to brew a beer of everybody's, not everybody's,
Collaboration,
collaboration
yeah.
of what
Everybody's
for the
input.
beer. Yeah, something like bacon.
Mm.
I don't know what all it was, but we had a little taste of it the other day. And the owner wanted to see what everybody thought of it. Want a little bit sweeter, a little bit drier, a little more flavor to it, or salt, or whatever. So, but her brother tasted it, and he said he got all kinds of bacon.
Yeah,
but I didn't.
I didn't either, but there was bacon, but it did have bacon. The bacon.
Yeah. No,
think they brewed it with like 10 pounds of bacon or something. But they were having a hard time with the fat of the bacon and the beer and stuff, trying to figure out how to get that to jive together or whatever. So
yeah, get all infused and everything.
yeah. So I'm not sure what they actually came up with for that, but we did get to sample just a little bit of it Monday night, and I didn't really get much of the bacon flavor in it, but her brother thought it was nothing but bacon.
He didn't even know that it was supposed
he
to.
didn't
He didn't go to the last one, so
supposed to have it. So I was like, I didn't get that at all.
Tecate, and it was a small town on the border, south of San Diego. San Diego. Who was it, Ricky? What was that about? What was Anchorman, right? Like something in San Diego. Like, what is something like flying chicken or something? He said something stupid.
That was a
Stay classy, San Diego.
Stay classy,
Yes. But he's telling somebody, like, what does San Diego mean? It's like something chicken or something. He says, like, yeah. Mexican beer battles with Tecate and Superior in the finals. Nice. I think Superior is underrated. I don't think I've had Superior. Contact England regularly, trying to get it here. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to try to move into Illinois or not. It's funny because they just like skipped over Illinois and they got it in Michigan. They got it other parts out west. It's the whole distribution.
It really is. You would think it would have been in Illinois just for Chicago alone.
I'm with you, JT. I love all dark lagers as well. Emerson says, okay, let's get down to brass tacks. How much would someone have to pay you to only drink Zima for the rest of their life?
Oh, God.
I don't know if there's enough money for that.
Do they actually still make it now, though? I know they brought.
No, they don't make it right now anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they do.
I mean, I do.
But
it'd be more than Kanye lost. I'll put it that way.
Maybe $5 million.
$5 million? That's it?
Without the Jolly Rancher.
To drink Zima for the rest of your life? $5 million?
If that's like the only alcohol I can drink is Zima.
I think you're undercutting the price there.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be stingy, Rod.
With or without the Jolly Rancher?
No, I'll drink it without the Jolly Rancher.
I mean, if you were like 80 years old or something, like you got a short span, I would say, okay, yeah, $5 million should work, but you got a long way to go still.
I figure it out.
Yeah, some red ales are truly amazing, and a lot of breweries don't make a lot of red ales, which, you know, right now, I know Big Daddy's happy because he got the Nosferatu from Great Lakes that came out in Imperial Red Ale, but there's more room for a lot of red ales to be done out there that breweries just don't make, and that's where it gets to the whole thing we talked about before. Are people buying stuff because they like it, or are they only buying the stuff because that's what's being presented to them? You know, they don't know. A lot of your average beer drinker may not know a lot of the other stuff that's available from beer. So it's up to the breweries to try to kind of educate them and provide other things that they don't, and people just stay in that same circle.
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, it kind of goes hand in hand because a lot of the breweries aren't making those. But I don't feel like the people that would drink them, you know, if they go to the breweries and they don't have a red ale or a brown ale or whatever the style it is, they're not going to know. So I doubt they're going to go to the liquor store and pick up, see a red ale and think anything about buying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they don't. Some people may not know to do that.
Right. They wouldn't know, like, oh, it's a red ale, so I'm going to try it.
And the thing about
even crosses one's mind when they go in.
I mean, the best thing about a brewery in that when you go there to drink is you get to experiment with other beers, right? That's the whole idea of having a flight, because you can test out other stuff you may not usually see or get. And so if there's more red ales presented or more brown ales presented, that can open up people's palates. And then when they go to the stores, they will look for those type of style stuff too. But if nobody's ever had that, they don't know what to look for.
That's why I said, if I had a brewery and I'd do 5 styles of kind of your mainstays, maybe change up the beer within that style, but have an IPA or a stout or, you know, whatever. Then have like 5 micro batches of where you can throw a red ale in or a brown ale just for people to try.
Yeah.
But you can make so much of it to where if you don't sell it, you're not out like a ton, you know, where it's going to be sitting for 6 months and nobody's buying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have a couple barrels worth and then, you know, a good weekend and it's gone. Then you're like, okay, well, it's on to the next.
I can see where some breweries that I've been to miss opportunities in that I don't see a lot of them having like tasting programs. And I think it's an opportunity for breweries to have programs. Somebody comes in, people come in to get beer or whatever, but if you're having separate programs and people pay $20, $25 or whatever, and you educate them through a flight of 5-6 beers, whatever it may be, I think there's opportunities for breweries to be able to do that, educate more of the public, to have more of the people create more of a demand. I think opportunities are missed by some of the breweries out there.
Yeah.
Like to have stuff like that.
Because I think they're all about just making the sell as opposed to.
Well, some are, but yeah.
Who cares what they want to try to get somebody to like,
Yeah, well, they're like freaking Joe Dirt's friend, right, with the fireworks. Like, I only do it because I like sparklers. Well, it's not about you. We always try to get a Joe Dirt reference in when we can. So. It's about the customer.
Remembers all this shit.
That's like Our Lady. Like they have.
I can apply Joe Dirt to all parts of life. Go ahead, Todd.
That's like Our Lady at the brewery we go to close to the house too. It's like they have, I don't know, 10 or 12 different taps of their own brew, but they brew in such big batches that they're on tap for a long time. Not for a long time, but they're on tap for a while. To where I can see like the Hefeweizen or some of their mainstays that probably do sell really well, and they do run out of those a lot quicker. Like I feel like those are ones they should brew more often just to have on back. Like they should never run out of some of their better beers, but I feel like they should not brew so many. But they're also very IPA forward, so it's like.
Well, that's where your pilot batch.
Half their taps are IPAs,
I mean, that's where your pilot brewing comes in, where you have the smaller batches and you're not doing all that. I mean, you look at, and I use Cincinnati, like Rheingeist, as much as the stuff they have, like all the different things, they also have smaller batch type stuff. For Braxton, they have smaller type things.
You're right.
To do their specialized stuff to see how that runs its course before you go to the bigger brewing containers, right? So you have the small batch, see how people accept it, run that for a series of times, and then decide, okay, this is really a winner. Let's add this to our main line.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's something you come up with and it sells out really fast, like, in a week's time or whatever, then you're like, okay, well, maybe we can do that on a larger scale and that rotation of.
Or you don't even put it in rotation. You just bring it back at certain points. Like, for instance, what did I have the other from Great Lakes? They brought back the Blackout Stout. That's not out every year. So they brought that back. They're not making a ton of it as far as like their main Edmund Fitzgerald or some of the other stuff. But, you have this out here for this limited period of time.
Right.
The Nosferatu, they do it with that. They do it with the Chill Wave. They do it with a few of their other stuff. And it's kind of like you can only get it a certain amount of time. And they kind of set that.
That's kind of their yearly releases or whatever.
You're right.
Yeah.
JT said 50 million. That was for the Zima. I was going a bit low, but the more I thought about it, the higher the price was. Then he says, no, 150 million. Then he says, F it, $1 billion. It'll be $1 billion. And I'll drink all the Zima. Rusty Trail Brewing waffle sauce maple pecan imperial brown is one I would like to get a hold again. Oh, Rusty, that's actually Rusty Rail. I think you're talking about. It's funny you mention that because I almost picked that up the other day because I get Rusty Rail beers now, and I was like, that kind of is pretty interesting. That same one. I saw the waffle sauce maple pecan. I'm like, nah, maybe I get it next time or whatever. I didn't grab it. I should have. Now I think now that Bill's brought that up, and I'm like,
I'm surprised you didn't since it was a brown ale.
There's so many beers. I got so many. I was like, how many can I put in the fridge, right? I haven't even touched the Big Bad Baptist bottles yet since I've had them from over these last few years. I got to start cracking those open at some point.
Yeah, I've got some I've had down there for a while. I need to just start rifling through them.
Maybe we'll do like a baptism show. We'll do all Big Bad Baptist or something.
Baptism.
I might still have like one of the original, because we used to get like the original Big Bad Baptists, the series when they come out with them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they don't sell any of them anymore. So I don't know.
I actually just saw what they had in the 6-packs. Like just a regular Big Bad Baptist. Like
that's what.
Yeah.
I think it was like, they used to do like series whatever and have the number to it or whatever, but it was all the same.
I mean, I've got all 22-ounce bottles of the different things. So I figure if I have a baptism, at some point I would see Jesus, right? So.
Yeah. Go on.
A few other people too.
Yeah.
Yeah. See Jesus and Paul. Hey, where you guys going? Yeah, underrated Heffy for sure. Yeah, Heffies are definitely underrated. I love a good Heffy. It's weird. I got a craving for red ale sometimes, and I got to have it. I'm like, red ales are nice. Like right now, we're talking about red ale, and I need one now. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you bring it up. It's like you don't see them as much, and when you've had them, you get that craving for them too. You like to try to find them. Like right now, like I said, if you get Great Lakes and you haven't had Noforostu, you want to pick that up. That's a really good red ale they actually put out there. I think it's February. Great Lakes does a Conway's. Well, that might be out now. It's an Irish red ale too, I believe.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Yeah. Reason why I get it, yeah. And I would quit drinking sooner than later. No, but that's all good stuff there. So Wayne, give Wayne a chance here. So tell people about your channel, your podcast, what you guys are doing down there as well with you and the two other guys, and give you a chance with a little spotlight here.
Well. It's hard to believe that the YouTube channel is almost 2 years old. That'll be towards the end of next month will be 2 years of the release of my first video. And then the podcast is 1 year old. Just last month, and it's just a adventure, to say the least. So the YouTube channel, with life going on right now, with work being crazy, a lot of changes in the family. My youngest daughter is at college now. My middle daughter got married a couple weeks ago. So the video releases haven't been as regular as I'd like, but that channel's not going away anytime soon. Got some fun things coming up. The podcast, the Upstate Beer Boys podcast, that's myself, Chase, who has a channel on here. It goes by Nutmeg 2 Palmetto, and Steven, who also has a YouTube channel, but I don't think he's put any videos up. He's at Southern Bling Beer Reviews. Met both of them on Instagram a little over about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we met up at a local brewery called Birds Fly South and just kind of hit it off, and then started spitballing about, just getting together and doing a podcast just solely on beer, going to breweries, interviewing them. And we launched it September of 2021. We are 24 episodes deep right now, I think. We got a couple more coming out. We just got through covering the Best of SC Brewers Guild Beer Fest in Columbia. And then on November 5th, we actually go to the Greenville Craft Beer Festival here in Greenville, South Carolina, which they were nice enough to let us in to cover the event last year for free. Just plug them on our episodes, and they invited us back for this year. As a matter of fact, they actually promoted our podcast on their social media channels, which I thought was fantastic.
That's freaking awesome. Yeah.
So, it's just a fun journey. Trying all the different beers, meeting cool people like yourselves. Look at me here. I'm on Rod J's channel here.
Nobody watches me.
Come on, how many subs do you have? Like what, a couple thousand?
So almost. I'm trying to get to that 2,000 mark. I'm like 33 off of it right now, I think. But I do it just for the joy of the beer and the fun, like you found out and everything. And great community, great people, and great opportunity to just, have a chance to explore stuff you already enjoy and share with other people that you come into contact with. I mean, me meeting Todd and Shannon, I came from YouTube. A lot of the connections I've had come out of just YouTube, different things. And it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. You have to be careful sometimes to pace yourself because it can get a little bit bumpy or kind of like stale, kind of like, what am I doing here? Like, I've seen people that have gotten on and have gotten off and come back too. So it's something with, if you feel it gets to be too much, sometimes you got to back away and just like take that little break, reset yourself. But you do it right. I think it's an enjoyable type thing. And I think you're definitely doing some great things there and enjoying it. And, at the end of the day, for people to do YouTube and succeed, you got to have the strength and the fortitude to realize, you're putting yourself out there to the world. And you got to be able to handle when things come back. Because the first video I got was probably, I think at the time, it was more thumbs down than thumbs up, for instance. But now it's like reverse that. But it's just that, you're kind of raw. You're just putting it out there for whatever you are doing. Unless you're trying to be like some, what's that guy, Paul Logan or whatever like that, a guy to do some crazy type shit. I mean, but it's, you're still taking a risk of putting yourself out there, because not just for the people that are watching from all over, but you'll have people that might be your local town that'll run into you. Hey, I think I saw you on YouTube type thing, type things that happen too. And it's a fun ride.
I actually had that happen at work. One of my customers come in one day to have his truck checked, and getting him checked in and everything, and I'm typing up his ticket, and he's like, you know what? Well, you look like the type of person that likes to have a cold beer every once in a while. Like, it kind of just caught me off guard. I'm like, what? And he come to find out, one of his friends runs I think like a tap room, or like a tap room, bottle shop, and they know our podcast and said, hey, you need to check them out. And he followed the podcast's Instagram account, and of course, my picture's on there, so put two and two together. So I thought that was pretty cool. Kind of caught me off guard for a second, but yeah.
So bottom line is, he wanted an autograph, but he couldn't ask you for one.
No, I just wanted his truck fixed, which I can't blame.
You had to sign your name to the bill, didn't you?
Right? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, when you say, you put yourself out there, I can remember to this day that the first video that I uploaded to YouTube, I almost wanted to throw up.
Oh, God, I bet.
And actually, if you go back and you look at the first, I don't know, I think it's first 10, maybe the first 10, 11 videos, those weren't even really shot for the purpose of YouTube. How I got started in this is, in 2020, we have a little thing called the pandemic. And I thought, okay, with everything shutting down, I'd already started dragging a little bit of the local craft beer. I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to buy $20 worth of beer every week, give or take, instead of buying, Yingling or, bigger brands, let me invest in, buying some of the local stuff to keep those guys going. And I posted a picture on my personal Facebook of this one local beer here, and my cousin out in Texas said, hey, that looks pretty interesting. You want to do a beer trade? So he sent me a box of beer from Texas. I sent him some from South Carolina. I thought, well, let me just take a short video of myself trying the beer and let him know what I thought. And it kind of just spiraled from there. So
Nice.
It's funny when you look back on that now. I'm sure from this point, like, seems like it was so long ago, but it was like I said, it was 2 years, and it was just like the journey's already moved you so much further.
At first, I was like, how are these guys taking 5 minutes to talk about a single beer? And now I'm sitting here going, like, how did I get it down to, like, when the YouTube starts pushing these shorts and you have to get it down to a minute? I'm like, I can't get it down to a minute.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Not
start to
without a lot of
adapt.
editing.
Yeah. Well, you adapt to it. So, you learn as you go and everything that. And like right now, where YouTube Shorts is a big push and they're trying to get more people to do shorts. And some of that comes out of competing with TikTok, of course, and then also with Facebook
Absolutely.
and the Reels and Instagram. But yeah, it's kind of the highlight type thing. And one of the things you can do on YouTube is actually, I probably should do a video about this, but you can take your video, and now if you have that feature, you clip a shorts out of it. So you can take like a part of your video, clip the shorts out, post that, and then you put it there, click on the video link in the description or whatever to see the full video. So you can kind of put teasers out there for your stuff too. So probably a $1 million idea somebody's going to run with. I could have probably shared that, but yeah.
I guess for now, I got the 60-second sits from that was the minute video thing, shorts or whatever.
Well, you can do the shorts to shoot it for shorts, or just take your long form and cut it out.
Well, no, I know
Yeah,
that, but she does like that 60-second sips or whatever, where it's only a minute long. But I thought that was something she did, but that is, also driven by YouTube or whatever.
Well, you could do I've done stuff where I've been at. One of the shorts I did is I don't know, 2,500 views like that. Everything was I was at one of the spots, Party Town in Kentucky, drinking one of the beers there. And it was just a quick short talking about the beer, and I got all these different views on it. You never know what may catch fire on shorts, so you just kind of put stuff out there. But
right.
There's so many different ways that YouTube can do stuff. Our buddy JV, for instance, just found out today, and you may have it coming soon there, Wayne, as well. He has a community tab. He's like, how do I get the community tab? Because he's not at 500 people yet. Well, YouTube has actually added stuff now to encourage more of the small YouTubers. So now you're getting stuff a little bit earlier, which is nice as well, where you can do different things along those lines. So I find it to be a fun experience. Go away.
I got my community tab 3 days ago, and I need to post something on it today.
Yeah.
But, so that's the biggest challenge I have right now is, okay, what do I make a long form video? What do I do with the shorts? Instagram, what do I do for a static post? What do I post for a reel there? But instead of, at first I was like, all right, well, let me shoot a long form video and then I'll cut it down. I'll after I do that, then I will take a static picture of it. Then I'll do a short. I was like, no, that's too much work for one beer. So I've got beers that I will do the long forms on. I think for more of the shorts, I'm going to use those for, I just picked up a Sweetwater variety pack.
Okay.
So Sweetwater is more of a bigger known name. So I'm thinking maybe that will get more of the views on the shorts or something like that. The Instagram stuff, I'm going to get a little bit more creative on. If you've seen a couple of the reels I've posted lately, you'll see a little bit more creativity there. And then, of course, I can use now with the community tabs too. I can use a lot for podcast cross promotion. So
you have the opportunity. Yeah. I would just say the main, because YouTube, when you're doing it long enough, you start almost confusing yourself on what you want to actually do, because there's so many different things they actually start to provide to you.
Yeah.
Don't lose fact of you just wanting to have fun and bring that through, because it gets to a point where it becomes too much of trying to track down. I tell people, don't worry about chasing the subs. If you're putting videos out there and having fun, you'll get subs after a certain amount of point. The main thing is people are watching you because they love your enthusiasm, they love what you're sharing, and they love watching you basically take them through whatever thing you're taking them through. So that's always going to be the key thing. And when you look at your analytics or whatever, you'll see the different words and stuff like that might draw attention and stuff. Just always keep an eye on that. But don't ever lose that spirit. Too many people lose that spirit and start to say, I'm trying to get to this 1,000. I'm trying to get to the 1,000. They start trying to push too hard. And it's I've worked in sales my whole professional life. When you get pressure in sales and you feel pressure, you start to sell and people feel that. They don't buy from you because now you're putting that pressure onto them. You got to just be
Hard.
yourself and still bring the stuff through and have fun with it. Incorporate things as you go, but don't let it become an overwhelming type thing where you're trying to force it too much. You can't put that square peg in the circle. Just, you got to mold with it. You got to adjust it. It's like, I'm going to use a matrix line. Don't try to bend the spoon, bend the world around the spoon type thing, you know? So that always is helpful when you're looking at that, I think.
No, I've actually I think I've been doing it long enough. I know what works, but also I told this to Chase when he first started his YouTube channel, which I think he's been doing it for, I don't know, 6 months, maybe 9 months, is as far as me and my channel is concerned, as long as I don't start dropping a bunch of subs, the number doesn't matter. I think I'm sitting at 175, 177. I think I gain like about, on average, 2 or 3 a month. But I'm having fun. The more I learn, I like learning and evolving. As you can see, if you look at the first videos, and then once I got a tripod, and then once I understood this, and then learned a little bit of editing, and then a little bit more editing, and now we're doing all sorts of like fun transitions and all sorts of other fun things in there. I'm just having a blast. So, and I hope everyone else is enjoying the ride.
Yeah, I think that's the key. You got to be able to do that, enjoy it, and I think other things will come to it. I mean, there are things you do to work a plan with YouTube, but you can't underestimate how much that passion comes through as far as you being able to have that come through to your viewers and stuff. And I think that's what gets people to actually watch and stay in tune to what you're doing. And, it's a great opportunity to be able to share whatever story you want to kind of share out there, however you want to do it. And some people try to copy other people sometimes. And I've seen some videos and it's like, that's not you. You're copying so-and-so. You see that instantly. It's like, you got to be yourself. You can't just think I'm going to do the same thing somebody else did. And people are not going to see through that or not feel that sincerity coming through. So
I'd say for me, for sure, like without having a channel, I've met a lot of great people over the last decade or so, in person or just chatting on the channels, or, like we used to do back in the day, right before, Joe and Drunken One, and when it was 10 or 12 people or whatever it was, where you couldn't hardly get a word in edgewise. But
yeah.
You met a lot of people, just sitting in and talking and stuff through that, Yeah. And I also had the pleasure, like you and Eric and Joe and Beer Whisperer and Mal and Chew, met in person and had beers with at times,
Yeah.
And then, you get to meet Kent, or not Kent, but
Greg. Don't get her all excited again.
Yeah, that's like now.
So you'll go home and say, put this hat on, like the hat like Craig wears all the time.
I would be ashamed of myself if I ever actually met him. I would be so embarrassed if I ever actually met him in person.
You would never be able to tell me. You wouldn't be able to say nothing.
I would be like,
Craig would be, hello, Shannon, and she'd melt like butter.
I probably would.
To forget what her name was and everything else.
Offered to make him a fried bologna sandwich. I had to get a fried bologna in at some point. So yeah.
There it is.
Oh, let me see here.
Yeah, it's a good avenue to, nothing else just to entertain and enjoy.
Connect with people.
Connect with other people, yeah.
Oh, it's kind of a refreshing thing. People watch reality TV all the time like that, and to me, all that's kind of like rehearsed type stuff too. But like when you're in YouTube, you're actually seeing people actually doing people type things or having those conversations, depending on what channels you're watching, that really gain your interest and stuff. So it's a great opportunity. And as you build up stuff, it's kind of, for me, going back to when I was in college and doing a DJ, and it was like the first time I heard that people were actually taping my show as a DJ. It was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, because when I was a kid, I was taping like, Mr. Magic out of New York or Kid Capri or some of these other big DJs that were on the radio. And then you have other people that are now recording what you're actually doing. I was just like flabbergasted by it. So the whole experience there, where you have people that are watching you or kind of commenting and responding, and when you build that kind of viewership with channels, it's freaking awesome. It's kind of, it's cool that you're able to share those type of things and have those type of things where you're actually meeting people. Like Todd said, you actually get to meet some of the people and stuff. And it's funny, when the first time I met Todd, it's like I felt like we knew each other for so many years already. It was like a high school buddy or something.
You're right,
back
right.
together with, it's always kind of a cool type thing. So yeah. Luckily, he wasn't Jeffrey Dahmer, so he stayed at my house that night, and I was able to survive.
That never even crossed my mind. Maybe
Yeah.
No, he brought on Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
What if, like, what happened to Rod's channel? I don't know. Last thing I heard, Todd was going to visit him for Beer Fest.
Oh, speaking of Beer Fest, I got an email today for the Cincinnati Beer Fest.
Yeah, February 3rd and 4th, I think.
Second and third, or third and fourth, something.
Yeah.
Buy like early to get a discount on them or whatever.
I'm actually debating maybe coming back up for something like that, because Cincinnati has a real good beer festival too. So
Are they having it at the same place?
this is the Duke Energy, Duke Energy Center where you went to.
Yeah.
In the
convention center.
place, not like out in the field somewhere.
Yeah, it's where I ran the fried bologna sandwich pole last time.
Oh, okay. I remember that night very well.
Convention center or whatever.
And apparently, I don't know if you've ever done this, Wayne. Like, I just basically had my first fried bologna sandwich a couple years ago. But we ran a poll at one of the beer fests, and I just went around and started asking people if they have fried bologna sandwich. The number one response I usually got when I said I haven't had one, you must have been rich. Like, why do people think you were rich because you didn't have a fried bologna sandwich?
Because you're like, seriously?
Yeah.
That was like the number one reason. I don't know, Family Feud. What's the number one thing that people say to people that haven't had a fried bologna sandwich? You must have been rich. Would have been the number one answer.
It wasn't why not? Oh, you must have.
Like, do rich people not have fried bologna sandwiches?
That was beneath you.
You think Donald Trump's never had one? Yeah. Does he put ketchup on it? Would be the question.
Ketchup.
He puts ketchup on a lot of stuff. I don't know if you knew. That's why ketchup was on the wall when he was upset. But go ahead, Wayne.
If you haven't had a fried bologna sandwich, either you're rich or you're not from the South.
That's it. Yeah. And I wasn't from the South, but I wasn't rich. But my family, my grandparents were from Virginia, so they were from the South. But yeah. But it was astounding how many people actually had fried bologna sandwich. I didn't realize that were out there. So, and then when I did make it, one of our buddies, Alan EB, who's actually in South Carolina, he kind of fussed at me like, "You made it too fancy." I put a bunch of stuff on it. Like, I made it was like a flat hot dog, so I put different topping stuff on. He's like, "No, fried bologna, mustard, maybe cheese, and that's it." And I'm like, no, I put some onions on it. I put some jalapenos. I kind of hooked it up,
The choice, but he's one of that.
So he's like, you're too extra.
Yeah, that is
a little bougie, right? It's real bougie.
For like a 2 cent piece of meat, yeah.
Hey, make it your own.
You make it your own. I didn't know to cut it, so it didn't bubble up, though.
Yes.
So.
Very important.
Let me see some of the comments here. Just fixed my video title from trail to rail. Good looking out. Yeah, it is rail. But I am going to check out that beer when I see it again. I think they do some pretty cool stuff that I've had there. That blueberry cheesecake sour I did for them looks really good. Mary F. Kill, Guinness, Great Lakes, Dormenter, Gold Lager, Blue Moon, and Go. Mary F. Kill, I would... God. Okay, so it's going to be, believe it or not, I'm going to probably say F, Guinness, Mary Great Lakes, and Kill Blue Moon. But I could easily go Blue Moon or Guinness in that thing. But Mary's going to definitely be Great Lakes.
I feel like if you said F Guinness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, Guinness sounds, why would you, like, Blue Moon sounds like a really depressing fuck. So I think you made the right choice.
That'd probably be my exact. That would probably be my exact.
So you would F Guinness, marry Great Lakes, and kill Blue Moon, both of
Yes.
you two?
Yes, me too.
And but I've never had the one in the middle, so mine's different.
And you like Blue Moon, no?
Yeah.
No, but you would marry. Who would you marry?
I would marry Blue Moon.
Oh, marry Blue Moon. Okay.
Because I feel like it is dependable. You always know what you're gonna get. It's just, it's never gonna get too fancy. It's never gonna get too bad. It's gonna be right in the middle. It's gonna be a stable marriage. Guinness, I would F Great Lakes Gold Lager because I've never had it, and that might be fun. And then I would just kill Guinness, you know.
You probably like the Dorado Lager.
Yeah.
So I was thinking you were saying the
so
same.
I would cheat on Blue Moon with the Gold Lager, probably.
Yeah.
What about you, Wayne? I don't know where Emerson's mind comes up with these things, though. By the way,
I know
he's always
got some good stuff.
but he's always got intriguing type
He always does
questions.
I could go with it as he has it right there, or I could flip the Great Lakes and the Guinness. But yeah, Blue Moon's got to go.
Blue Moon is definitely out.
So who are you gonna marry? You're gonna marry.
He would marry Guinness or Great
You'd
Lakes.
marry Guinness.
But Blue Moon's definitely the kill.
Okay.
Blue Moon.
Guinness would probably give you a little bit more trouble than Blue Moon, but that can be good. You don't want it to get too boring.
Emerson, how do you come up with these things? Emerson usually asks us some stuff about like 80s type shit sometimes too, like, you know, best movie or blah blah blah. So I'm surprised he hasn't hit us with that.
Yeah, he's always got some good stuff.
Yeah, he's always got some good stuff he comes up with. Pipeworks Bloody Unicorn, awesome Red Ale, fresh, especially on tap. Well, you sent us the one Pipeworks, and that was definitely fucking fire. I would say that, Big Daddy. Big Daddy's up in Illinois, so he gets some pretty good stuff there in Chicago. Yeah, and Bill Beerhouse just subbed you, Wayne, so he's checking you out now too. So awesome.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Were you gonna say, Todd?
I don't forgot.
It was like a second.
The pipe pretty good from what I had of it.
Yeah, that's the one that Big Daddy said his Pipeworks, I think.
Yeah. Was that the Unicorn?
Yeah, Unicorn.
Ninja versus Unicorn or something like, or what was that called?
It was something Unicorn.
Something versus Unicorn.
Ninja versus Unicorn.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
that was really good. Yeah.
Ninja.
And Beerhouse says, I'll admit it's really tough to get subs as a beer review channel. Well, I would say the beer category is definitely a category heavily populated now. It's funny because as you come in, depending when you came in, I started my channel back in 2015, and it took a little bit of time. Like the channel I have here versus my reaction channel, like I was over 1,000 subs on my reaction channel in less than probably 7 months. For the beer channel, it probably took 5 years, I think, maybe, to try to get there, depending on what it was. And it was, now I will say with the reaction channel, I was able to apply things a lot faster from what I learned from the beer channel, because the reaction channel was later on and I knew kind of shortcuts to hit. So that was also helpful. But the reaction genre is so much more popular now than what the beer thing is. And you have so many different things. So if you have stuff out there for beer review, there's so many people that pop up. It's hard to be in that top placement. So the whole gating of subs, I know a lot of people don't like to say, hey, make sure, hit that thumbs up and sub, blah, blah, blah. Some of that stuff does matter when you put that in video, but there's ways you can kind of do it. Like I do now, I just have a flash signal, a pop up or whatever, but that does help. And if your people are watching it, know that it can help you with the algorithm, more people are more apt to do that. So you have to give them a reason why they might want to do that, but you also have to have the information to provide them as well. So it's like to ask for them to sub, like maybe in the first 10 seconds when they haven't seen anything, doesn't really go as far as maybe if you did it like in a minute and a half after you started providing them details. Then they're more apt to actually. So you learn these little tricks as you actually go through with YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But you got to do the things that kind of separate it. But I think when you tell your own story your own kind of way, that's the difference maker, right? Like you don't try to copy anybody else, whether you're doing stuff in a funny way, you're doing stuff, for me, I get a little bit more on my stuff, I think, analytical than some of the guys do when I break stuff down. But some have great humor. Like our buddy Joe, the Beer Patrol, he has great humor when he does a lot of stuff. And he hits on a lot of the key tips as well. But the way he tells the story is so much more Joe. Like, that's Joe. Like, that's the Beer Patrol, how he tells that story.
Yeah.
Or if you're watching, Greg's beer reviews, Greg does stuff in a certain way. He was one of the first people I started watching. I was doing YouTube. Back when we did, Joe D was doing beer stuff, watching Joe. The way he told stories was like, Joe's like, I'm not like this beer scholar, whatever. He's just having fun with the beer, it's just like, So you have to find what is your way to tell that story, and then use that to connect with people. And then again, if you're being sincere and your delivery is there, I think that's when people actually get drawn into you. So you have to just, do it the way that is you. You have to be yourself. You can't copy anybody else. You can pick up tips from other people, but you can't be the other people.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put in the work, I think it does definitely come. And one of the things I always enjoy is funny. Me and Todd talked about this in the past. I do these live streams, and one of my key things, I want to interact with everybody because that's why you're live. So I read all the comments that I can get to. It might take me a while, but I'll get to the comments. I see people that do live streams, they don't read the comments. I'm like, why are you even live then? Just record it and put it up.
You're right. That's so annoying.
Yeah.
Now, maybe because of doing this for so long, like you do read that, and then you go to somebody else's make comment, they'll probably never ever read it. It's like,
right. And I've heard other YouTube hosts that are like, oh, I hate reading the comments, and like, well, why are you doing live streams? Because when you're doing live streams, that's where the interaction. That's how you want to be able to connect with people.
Right.
So it's kind of funny. Like, know how you want to set up your channel and actually go through and do that. But, I think, Bill, you do great stuff on your channel. If you haven't checked out Beer House Beer Reviews, people need to. He has great fun out there in the OC in California where he's doing stuff, and definitely recommend giving him a look as well. Like JT said, beer is a very specialized topic. It is. It's something, how do you want to do your channel, right? Like, it can be specialized, like how you break down all kind of stuff and things like that along those lines. It depends how you want to present it. Do you want to present it in the layman type way? Do you want to present it in a more defined type way? It's all a matter how you want to tell that story with it, like that. But you just have to tell it in a way that's relatable. You want to relate to everybody that's watching your channel. So I try to keep things as simple as I can, but I'm a simple kind of guy. I'm a simple man, like Leonard Skinner said one time. Simple man,
You got so many people's quotes stuck up in your head.
Oh, I got a lot of quotes in this head, baby.
I can't remember shit. I have to write. I've gotten to where when we go hang out with our friends, if somebody says something funny, I put it in my notes. So
yeah.
If I was Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction, I'd be the quote master.
Like, how do you remember all these things?
Yeah, I'm like,
I watch it and forget it.
got too many things I need to remember, and there's only so much room up there. So if I watch something for entertainment, then I'm like, okay, I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it, and then I just forget I ever watched it. I remember how it feel, but
I think it was me growing up as an only child that, from Gen X type thing, we were latchkey type kids, so we get home and just be us home, and we throw in a movie. So I'm watching Ferris Bueller or whatever like that, and you just watch stuff, and stuff will just stick in your head, and then it's like later on, you just remember shit, and you try to pop it in. And for me, I try to be humorous when I can, right? And it's like I try to bring in lines when I can. I feel like it's just I'm always about bringing humor whenever I can in a situation. So it's just kind of like if I see something fits, I thought, like I said, I'll work in a Joe Dirt line. I mean a funeral, and I'll work in a Joe Dirt line at some point. I guarantee I can make it happen. So. But it's just being in that spirit and being able to actually be able to do that, I guess. So again, we all have our own thing, like Shannon, we all have our own things. We all have our own art. It's what we all bring to the table that makes us unique, right?
Yes, and that's what I have found out that since I've gotten older, and I'm just like, fuck it, I don't really care what people think about me. I'm just going to be me, and if they like me and we connect, then that's great. And if we don't, then we're just not meant to be on each other's paths. Doesn't mean I'm bad. Doesn't mean you're bad. Just we're not meant for each other to.
Right.
But I feel like when I started doing that, just like fuck it, I'm going to be who I am. I felt like I attracted more people because they were like, okay, she's not some phony and pretending to be something that she's not, you know.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing. Like when I met Shannon, Shannon was like Shannon, so it was all awesome. So we had a blast. Yeah.
There I am.
No, her feelings.
Yeah. So I mean, the funny thing about meeting when Shannon came down, we went to dinner. Me and my wife, Todd and Shannon, and my wife and Shannon were like comment on so many different things talking. It was like me and Todd were sitting there like we could literally change wives and we wouldn't miss a beat.
Right, yeah.
Like we would still have everything still happening the same. So.
Yeah, she is so much more interesting than me. Like she's so interesting. Yes.
We're walking down the side going, I think we live the same way.
It's like, are you my doppelganger?
Yeah,
This is some Stephen King type thing. Yeah. Like, I think we're in Stranger Things right now. Yeah. Yeah, Emerson Wayne Cheers. He's on the Lake Norman, so not too far from you.
Yeah,
Dickie's in the house.
About an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. So,
cheers to Dickie. What's going on? It's been a while, my friend. If y'all don't know Dickie, Dickie's actually out in Vegas, so check him out. And Dickie, I just heard that Motley's beer event got canceled because of they had some high winds out in Vegas and they had to cancel the event. So one year, about 7 or 8 years ago, we went to the Motley's Brew Festival out in Las Vegas. Great time, great beer festival, and it's sad to hear they had to cancel for this year. So
That sucks.
yeah. You never think about high winds, but in Vegas, I guess it was just terrible for what they were trying to do there. So,
Well, hell,
Well, especially out there, it's like kind of there's nothing around it except for the casinos. If you're in like Vegas, you
well,
know.
when we went to that one beer festival out at the airport, what's that called?
Oh, that was super windy. Oh, the tailspin.
Tailspin. Yeah, they had
Tailspin.
it was outside and they had a bunch of tents and it got real windy and the like one of the bars that was holding the tent up like started to cave in, so they like evacuated all of the tents.
Yeah, and they set it out on the outside of it.
I feel like Wendy at Tailspin actually seems pretty right. Like he was.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beer on Sound, I do like how YouTube is breaking. Yeah, they started adding that where they break it into chapters now with some of the videos, so it makes it nice so people can kind of head to certain spots and see what's taking place there. And then I didn't share this one. So I actually cracked open another one and I took it down a little bit. I did the old decoy. This is also from RAR Brewing. R Brewing. Yeah. Contact them about that name. Like, what is that all about? So this is an ale aged in also bullet bourbon barrels with vanilla, cream, and spices. So not a barley wine, but an ale using bullet. Session 11%, so went from 12 to 11. So took it down a little bit there. 16 yeah, I got to work in the mornings. I got to take it easy. So
You just gotta crawl to bed and just crawl down the hallway.
Yeah, right. It's like a good 15 feet I gotta walk. So
Yeah, right. So Wayne, how was that beer that you had?
This one's pretty smooth. Both of them are smooth. This one's really smooth. So the barley wine's more the dark fruits, as you can imagine with the barley wine. This one is just like a smooth out ale. Really subtle in the flavor. You get the vanilla coming through. Very smooth, just like velvety in the mouth. So I'll have the review up on this at some point. I got like 7 reviews I haven't just put up on the channel yet. So it's time between actually having your regular job, right? And you get, this Wayne too from running the channel, you get your regular job and you got to come back and try to get all their stuff edited out and do your uploads. And like you, I haven't done a podcast the last couple weeks. I need to do a podcast episode. But it's just like, where do you find the time to actually kind of get all this stuff done? So,
See, that's why.
And for me, I've got 3 channels. So I've got people asking on a reaction channel, like, where's the reaction? Like, I got people that are kind of into that one now. And I got the gaming channel, which I'm going to get to 1,000 at some point too. So I got constantly doing something, but it's fun. It's all fun. It's not even like you're working. You're like just sitting there doing stuff. Like you're just having a good time bringing that kind of thing.
That's why I haven't done my own channel, because I feel like it can consume so much of my time.
But it would feel like it because you would be cooking, you'd be grilling, All you do is put the camera on and you just talk while you're doing
Yeah,
it.
I mean that's true, but
Yeah,
I mean,
we could just set a camera up in
like
the
it would
corner
be-
and then go through the footage, and I'm sure we could piece together a half an
Yeah.
hour video.
yeah,
every-
probably.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Actually, you'll go from like thinking, this beer would be good to drink. You're like thinking, I could film at least 2 reviews with this one.
I've been telling Todd for years he could do, because Todd does a lot of cooking and grilling. It's not like grilling, cooking channels are really good on YouTube. So, in fact, like Rick's Barbecue, we're working on. We haven't got the time down yet, but we're going to be doing a video pairing barbecue and beer that we're going to have out coming at some point here. So, we're going to get that done. But
I'd be all about you having a YouTube channel. I mean, I would guest star, but yeah.
There you
That's
go.
why YouTube is. Like, if I know I have to do something, it takes all the fun out of it. So, like, if I enjoy doing some YouTube videos and then I'm like, fuck, I'm watching people, I need to do another YouTube video, then it's not going to be fun for me anymore.
And that's where you have to step
No,
away.
that's what I'm afraid of. Like,
Yeah, that's why you step away, take a little break or whatever, so it's not gets to be that type of thing. So you have to set the parameters. Like for some people, doing a video once a week, once every month, you know, you have to find what works for you so you don't get kind of in that type of feel, and you just kind of go with it. And then as things get better and things change, you can always step up to whatever you want to do.
Then you have more pressure to do more videos to make more money.
I mean, I used to do a video a day, and it got to a point where I just couldn't keep doing a video a day. Plus, now with me working out a lot more, I'm not drinking beers every day either.
Right.
So I got to kind of pace them out a little bit differently and stuff. But then doing like 3 or 4, and most people I don't think are going to watch your channel every day, right? You have to know what people are going to watch your stuff too. And YouTube is very pretty much quick to. If you're not getting views, they'll cut you to the side on stuff, right? So you have to know what works for your channel.
I had a girl that I watched on YouTube, and she used to post. She was really big. I mean, she had, you know, a couple million subs, but but she would put out 5 videos a week, and then she got so popular, she was getting like deals and businesses and stuff. Yeah. So she cut it down to 3 days a week. And then her life exploded, and she totally went off for like a year, and nobody knew if she was going to come back or not. And she did. And now she has like 8 million.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get so big at a point.
Yeah, it's.
You know, you look at someone like, I think I don't know if it was Logan or Jake, whatever Paul it is that does a lot. I mean, you have to hire people in to actually start running stuff for you and everything. So, you know.
Yeah. It's probably the one that does the boxing and stuff.
Well, I think that's Logan that does. I think Jake's the one that's big on the YouTube. But they were both on YouTube at one point. But
yeah, one of them's got a fight, a boxing match on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, against Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
And it's like, somebody like Anderson Silva's like 55 years old at this point. You know, it's kind of like he wasn't even a boxer; he was an MMA fighter. So
yeah, I was gonna say he always fights MMA fighters. Like it's totally different. Like it's not.
Let me see you take on Tyson.
You're right.
Man. Tyson's 50-something years old. Take him on.
Yeah, one of those guys that know boxing. Yeah. But also, one of the reasons I don't is I don't feel like I'm a good speaker.
You do great on here. What do you mean?
What I mean, just like talk freely. Like when you go up and leave, like feel the air for like 5 seconds. Like I was like, I'm always like, I don't even know. Like, okay, I don't know what to talk about. You know what I mean? Like. I know that's different, but I just feel.
I think you do just fine. I think you're undercutting yourself. You got the skill set. You can do it. You've been doing all these other stuff. It's like Joe. It took Joe 10 years to start his channel. It's like, Joe, you've got everything there. Like, you know.
Come on in, Todd. The water's warm.
Yeah.
The water's fine.
Dip my toe in. Is that what you're saying?
There you go. Just make a video. Just make a video and then send it to them and let them like critique it and then tell you what you could do. No, like an audition tape, not a video.
You're right.
Like, like figure
auditioning for myself.
Yeah.
Like, no, you suck. Okay, that's why I didn't do it.
I mean, I could watch it. I'll watch it and tell you.
You said
you're right. You're bad.
No, I'll make the first video. I'm like, this is my husband Todd, and he loves to cook, and he really wants to share with you guys.
And then a video 2 would be like, where'd that girl go?
I'm just here for the Shannon part. He would skip to that chapter. Where's Shannon coming in? Yeah.
When's she gonna be back on again?
Yeah, more entertaining.
Yeah.
Dickie said he doesn't like the new layout. YouTube recently viewed it popular. They got some different changes there. I haven't looked that deeply into that part of it, but yeah, they're trying new stuff. I mean, they're definitely in a more competitive market now. I mean, TikTok is the one with the bullseye on it that everybody's trying to aim after. So I think you're going to see a lot of stuff with YouTube throwing out there now. Reddit, click the filter and sort by newest or oldest. I like that as well. I think doing that is that way you can catch all the newest type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Started doing YouTube years ago. It was more fun in the beginning. I just don't make the time to record, edit, and post it. It's tougher, right? Because life is still going on. You're still getting the other stuff. The thing with YouTube that people have to also look at is the more popular your channel becomes and the more viewers and stuff you get, there's also that kind of thing where you start to feel a little bit more pressure to also perform and stuff too. It's kind of like when you make more money, you feel more stuff pulling at you for other things too. So you have to make sure you find that balance of what you actually want to do there. But
you can get to enough where you don't need any more. That's like we have enough. We don't need more. I mean, more would be nice, but with more comes problems.
Yeah. The more you go, the more that happens, and it becomes a matter of what do you want to do with your channel.
Right.
Some people just want to be casual and have fun with it, which is fine. Some people want to get to that level where they get monetized and they start getting some dollars in, and which for me, for instance, pays for a beer I get. Or you get noticed by the companies that say, hey, we want you to check this out or check that out, and you kind of get a little bit of notoriety. It all depends on what you want to do with it, and then set those parameters and work within the parameters you want to do, because you don't want to burn yourself out and not have fun with it. You got
and then nobody's going to watch it.
Right, and nobody's going to watch it because you're not going to come through, and they're going to notice you're not having fun with it either. So I incorporated some comedy guitar, some bicycle content. Yeah, that's the thing with YouTube. You got to take risks on different stuff. There's different things you do. I mean, I look back at some of my older videos. I used to edit in like movie scenes in between some of the clips and stuff like that and everything. And I would do different stuff with music and find those different things that draws the attention, For some YouTube, I never knew why, but YouTube, people that watch love cutscenes. I've never been a huge fan of the whole cutscenes, but somehow it does like a reset on people's minds, I guess, when they watch it. They talk about how popular the cutscenes. I usually do like a fade in or something like that and everything, or unless I threw in like a movie scene or something like that, where it'd be a cut type thing. But it kind of resets something, I think, when people are watching, eyes wise.
Well, there was a cartoon called Coco Melon, and they're saying that it's not good for kids to watch it because it does that. It's like it switches from this color to that color to this color, and it keeps them engaged and gets you addicted to it because they're just training that baby's mind to it's not. Well, they stopped watching it, but like a teacher, instead of like a teacher teaching something, and you have one thing to concentrate on. It's just like,
So they think they're training them to be like a short attention span.
Yeah,
or something,
well, that
or
and
whatever.
it trains them to get addicted to the TV show because it feeding their dopamine in their brain over and over.
Yeah. And I'd say for Dickie, like you said, he's been doing beer reviews and guitar covers together for a few years. And so, like with Dickie's channel, and again, it's something that makes you unique, right? So Dickie always does like a beer review in the front, and he'll do a guitar cover on a song in the back.
Oh.
And it's an interesting thing, but that's Dickie's personality. That's what works for his channel. And if you guys haven't checked out Dickie's channel, check him out there. But it's always interesting on how he does that because, again, it's bringing his own personality into something. So he gives you the beer review up front, and he gives you the guitar channel at the end of it, which makes it pretty cool in that regard. And then he's got a good voice and stuff, so he delivers on that as well. Mm-hmm. So it's all about putting your personality into the channel you're actually building.
So I was just thinking about that. If I were to do one, I would do like cooking with a beer review involved also.
Beer review cooking. There you go.
Like do some smoking of something. Yeah. And then also like in the short time, like, okay, wait, got a minute. Let's do a beer review or whatever.
Yeah.
Something along those lines where
it's a different twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people, if anybody that actually does that or not, but that would be something I would look into.
I think that would be an opportunity for you. I think it'd be a beer review cooking or something like that, where you're cooking, but now why that's going to smolder over here or whatever like that and everything. Let's talk about this
right.
beer. And you get into the beer and kind of talk about that and everything. And if it's a beer that pairs well with what you're cooking, you could bring that up into the video.
Or that could be, that could be like a segment too, where you just pair something with what you're cooking. Yeah.
Write it down.
Right now.
But I don't want to hear you bitching out here and throwing edit a video and you can't figure out how to fucking do
Before
it.
you come in, I can do it all by myself.
I'm not editing nothing.
Well, you can help with like, well, this will be good.
Yeah,
This will
I'll
be good.
do
That's what I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Shannon, we're going to have to get Todd. Get a notebook now. Todd's going to need a
Yeah, I
notebook.
got it right down here. It's
Yeah,
got all
well,
my
yeah.
questions.
Yeah, don't bring
Get
that up.
Just get the most of it, nothing to do with beer reviews. Well, then that's the other thing too, right? If you're getting views that don't have anything to do with beer reviews, are you missing an opportunity to have something of a different type of channel? What are they cluing into that's pulling them in? So that's something you have to look at as well. You know, if it's something where people love your guitar covers, maybe you do a channel with just guitar covers. And you can have a good opportunity there too. Yeah.
Yeah, where you break it out.
Yeah.
Or somebody might be interested in that, but don't want to watch the beer reviews to get to that part, so they don't watch it at all.
Yeah.
But if he did a channel on his own with that, then could bring in a whole nother genre of people.
Yeah.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Beer said, he's been watching Dickie for almost 2 years. Really enjoys the content. And I've been slacking for last year. I still drink beer, just don't record videos much anymore. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the whole effect you have to watch out for, the whole burnout type thing. Because I think any person that's had a YouTube channel for a number of years or a certain amount of time, you're going to feel a burnout effect that takes place. And you're like, you know, what am I doing here? Do I want to keep doing it? Do I want to keep doing this? Whatever. Could I be doing something different? And you have to answer that question for yourself if you want to keep moving forward. And if you find that answer is to keep doing it, you have to reinvent yourself a little bit or try to switch some stuff up. But only you can determine if that's still an opportunity for you.
Sounds exhausting.
I don't know if it'd be exhausted. It's just a matter of what is your priority. Because our priorities change, right?
Right.
You
It's
change.
crazy how some people like find something that they love and they're like, or that sounds like fun. I'm like, that sounds like the worst thing ever.
You could
You know,
have a YouTube channel just watching different shows every single day because you always switch all the time. So it'd be like,
I
okay.
could review shows.
Yeah.
I could review shows.
Yeah.
From your bed.
I mean, I do.
with my nightstand chips.
I mean, I think you have to look at what brings you the enjoyment when you're doing a YouTube channel. Like per capita wise, I get more stuff off the reaction channel than I get off the beer channel, even though the beer channel's been around longer. But I really enjoy talking about beer and sharing my passion for beer with people. So you have to find out if that's still the thing that pushes you or not.
Right.
You know.
I think the reaction thing would hit more of a broad range of
Right.
people.
Yeah. I like watching reaction
Spectrum
videos.
of people than like
It does.
Because if somebody doesn't drink beer, they're not gonna watch a beer review. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. But I mean,
but
if I was all about just the dollars, I would just use straight reaction.
Right.
oh yeah,
Because that's the one that's going to monetize easiest and kind of pick up stuff and things along those lines. I mean, but it all matters where your passion lies, you know, which you can actually build up. And, you know, like I said,
Look how far like EB is skyrocketed.
yeah, EB's about to get a
like
silver.
He went up, like,
He's the first person I've known that's about to get a silver play button. Because he's about to get 100,000 subscribers on his channel doing the stuff he does, which is great for him. And I'm glad to see him having that success there. So, you know, he puts the work in. That's the other thing. You got to put the work in if you want to actually build it out. Now for him, YouTube is his job. Right. So he builds it up and he drives it home and that's what he does all day long. He's editing, he's doing different stuff. He's doing the reactions. So it's all a matter of where your focus is with everything.
I was hearing the sirens and seeing all those different lights blinking behind Rod. And I was looking and I was like,
was that me with the sirens? No, it wasn't me.
Reflect.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sirens going off in our back.
So we live right off the state highway and there's sirens almost nightly.
Oh yeah.
Every other night.
No.
Well, I'm next to the fire department. I got the hospital down the street, and then I think the police station's around here somewhere. So being Baltimore, there's always stuff happening. So
Yeah.
one a week you can. It's a matter of what you can work in. If you can do one, the other big thing with YouTube is consistency. So if you're doing one once a week and it's at the same time each week, then your viewers know that you can still have great success. You don't have to force it out there. It's just being consistent is kind of a big thing, which I've actually more recently fell off of being that. So I need to get back on board there too.
Same.
Paul's in the house. Cheers,
Paul.
Paul. Yeah.
Right on.
There he is.
You know, Paul, make sure to check him out as well. Paul's got a great channel. How Paul is not over 1,000, I still haven't figured out.
I know, right?
Paul's killing it on his
That don't
videos.
make any sense.
Blue Moon on tap is great. Can or bottle different, not very good. More than any other beer. I would actually visit the Blue Moon Brewery if I ever go to Colorado, which I think next year, I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I'm trying to target going to Great American Beer Fest, but I would go out to Blue Moon because I heard it's a pretty cool brewery to check out there, actually. Even though it's owned by Miller, it's still pretty cool. Oh, let me see. It's super tough to get the sub, son, unless you're Joe. Well, well, that's because Joe's on everybody else's channel all the time. So people know when Joe launched his channel, everybody knew who he was already. Type.
You're right.
So,
You're right.
yeah. And let's face it. I mean, having a Ice Cube shirt inside of an iced tea glass. I mean, who's not gonna like that guy?
Set it off right there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a prop master. Oh, look who decided to show up.
Double
Dee Dee's in the house. Cheers, homie. What were you like cleaning the
Your name
golf?
first. Yeah.
Were you cleaning the golf clubs for tomorrow, by the way? Is that what you were doing in the garage? Like getting them all set for your tea time tomorrow, which is probably around like, well, you're a little cooler there. So probably around 10:30 or so.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So
10,
Wayne Dee Dee's down. He's not far from you either. He's in Charlotte. So he golfs every Friday morning or afternoon, late morning, early afternoon, whatever. Depends on the weather.
Yeah, a little bit later now than it was.
Yeah. As Shannon says, he suffers from first world problems. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I don't really feel like that's a problem, though.
Yeah.
First world problem would be if your golf cart stopped in the middle of the golf course. That's a first world problem. And you got pissed off about it. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, Bilbo. So, yeah, I learned a lot from Greg's beer reviews. I love his style, but Rod, the way you break beers down so technical and spot on. You're the one that, oh, I appreciate that, man. When I first got on YouTube, Joe D was one of the first people I saw, and he was just having fun talking about the beer, right? And then Greg I saw, who was actually pretty good, pretty detailed. I liked what he was doing. He was laid back. You know, let's see what's in the beer fridge, kind of comfortable type feel. So I really enjoyed watching this stuff. And then watching Ron Thero, watching him do stuff, he was actually, you know, we don't really talk as much now, but he was actually pretty thorough on a lot of stuff. It's always funny watching his videos, though, because where he was at, every time he tried to do stuff in the morning, the construction crews or his neighbors would start, like, doing stuff.
I'd be like 7 times more in his backyard, like, what are you doing?
And if it wasn't the construction crew, he'd be like doing it in a grocery store, and the guy that would be doing the floors would always come up behind him.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, well, you're early, you think?
But he had a way to actually experience the beer there too, and then a few of the other people that were doing stuff back then, and it was kind of like I didn't even want to do a beer channel when I first started, and it was my wife that actually pushed me to doing the beer channel because she was like, "You have all this type of beer, you know all about this beer. You should go in there and YouTube." She was watching YouTube a lot more than I ever was. And she was like, I'm telling you, you can go in there and build a channel and people will love to hear what you're saying. My response was, why would anybody want to watch me drink beer? Because if I want someone drinking beer, then I want a beer. And if I don't have a beer, I don't want to watch that person because they're enjoying it and I'm not.
Get a beer.
But she was the one that pushed me into actually doing a YouTube channel. And then my background being in journalism, I ended up starting a blog. I ended up doing this stuff on Instagram and doing other stuff. And then things just led from one to another, but it's great that I appreciate what you said there, Bill. But there's so many different people that are mentors. I have DJ's BrewTube. He was one of the first people that really got me pumped up about beer. His excitement and enthusiasm that came through. Darwin's beer reviews. He actually watching him early on got me some stuff there that was actually really interesting to check out, to actually see some different stuff. So many different people that were part of why I got into the whole beer game. And so it's just interesting. And it's different now because it's like some of those people aren't even around now. Like some of them had left. And one of the guys was up in Canada. They got me into it. He ended up dying a few years ago. And it was just like, it was a sudden type thing. And like a lot of people that used to watch this, but he was always one that kind of pushed me into doing stuff. And he was like, no, you really got a great thing with the beer type stuff. And you just keep going. And when he died, it was just like, you know, he was like a mentor in that regard. It was kind of like, it was sucked that happened to him and stuff like that. So, you know, I did a dedicated video to him and a lot of other people did too, because he was always encouraging people to tell the beer stories and stuff out there. So, you know, the good thing about the whole thing is you have so many people here that are involved that you can turn to, that whether you know it or not, you know, they're mentors to you or you're mentors to them possibly. And it's all about sharing the information. So, you know, I always tell people if there's anything I can always do to help someone out that's trying to get their channel going a different way or things, always let me know, because I'm always happy to assist in that, because I had a lot of people that were actually helping me do that as well. So, but that's the great thing about the community, whether it's beer or YouTube in general, I think, is that you have other people out there available to help you out.
I'm out, boys.
You're out? Why are you out?
I gotta get up and go to work.
What time you gotta get up?
Hi, Shannon.
Like 6:20.
I get up at 7:30, so I mean you can hang out for a little bit more.
I don't succumb to peer pressure.
You don't succumb to peer pressure.
I don't know about all that.
Peer pressure, I don't succumb to it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Good night. Thanks.
All right, nice, Shannon. Always great having you. We'd like to see Rod and Beerman podcast together both. Yeah, Beerman, you know, I would love to do something with Beerman. Actually, that's pretty easy. It's just me and Beerman talk all the time. We just had never set up a joint thing to do. But Beerman, if you haven't checked him out, great stuff he's doing out in Oregon. He's got his own brewery open now that he's working on, kind of doing stuff. I don't think he's open for public yet, but he's got a lot of great stuff happening. So that's definitely something we can look at doing. JV in the house. Cheers, JV.
What's up, JV?
JV's got a great channel. Tomorrow night's Friday night, which means JV's Hangout will be doing something there too. Crazy wackiness. They're doing a sober October right now, so I couldn't really be on in October because I'm never sober when I'm doing this stuff over at JV's. So,
We're October. What?
he sends me invites, and I'm like, well, I don't want to peer pressure anybody, but I wouldn't be drinking if I'm on there. So, but always fun stuff there. Be honest with JV, what's up, brother? And not much, my friend. How you doing? JV and Beer and I know each other as well. I'm doing well. Yeah, it is a gorgeous beer. It's a tasty beer. It's a very smooth beer, and it's a sneak up on you type beer too. So, telling the Thai Grill, I'm telling you,
Yes.
he needs to do the grilling channel. I've been telling him that for a while.
Yeah,
Todd's
you
Grill and
guys
Chill.
had for years. You and Joe been like, do it.
Yeah, I'm definitely into it.
We'll see. You never know.
Evil Dead 2. I love Evil Dead 2. Big Daddy. Anderson Silva was a killer. Oh, he definitely was MMA. Yeah, but now you're going into boxing against Logan Paul, and you're like 50-something years old. It's like, you know, they show Logan Paul doing all his training and stuff. You're about to 50. Now, you can never underestimate old man strength. I will say that. Old man strength is something of a hidden feature. That,
Yeah, but he always fights like the big names in a different genre of fighting.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Totally different. You know,
If you want to see him box Roy Jones.
right. So I'm saying, or Mike Tyson, like you
Or
said,
Mike Tyson, yeah.
Holyfield, somebody that's actually been boxing before. That's like those guys. That's somebody.
You see a man or outbox him, you're like, oh, no, not you. Don't want to box you. Yeah.
Because he actually does have a decent like boxing style to him, but I don't think he can handle an actual boxer though.
Well, you watch the Tyson videos now where he does like this exercise training he does at 50 something. Oh my God. Yeah, he could still knock some people out. For sure.
Right? Still fighting.
Yeah. It's like, and I think part of it, he's high on weed and he still looks that good.
Right? Which is probably why he looks that good.
I ain't gonna lie, Sierra, Celebration. I don't doubt that. Celebration is a great beer.
Yeah, Celebration is a good one.
Sirens and lights freaked me out too, so I guess I saw the sirens as well. I didn't even notice the sirens there. Woo, woo, that's the sound of the police. What's up, Sam? Cheers, homie.
What's up, Sam? Cheers.
Sam, over there in Australia. Good to have you. Had a long day. Heard talking about red and brown ales. Love them. Yeah, I know you do as well. Yeah, we were talking about some different things.
I'm right back.
At the top of the comment page, Didi, we were talking about early on in the show. What is the beer that people really like that you feel is overrated? So we kind of got into different stuff and then talking about different brews and stuff too. So what up, Trez? Happy to have you, homie. Cheers. Great to have you in the house. Trez, one of the members to the channel. So always appreciate you, homie, out there in Cincy. And hopefully, I told Todd earlier, I'm thinking about trying to get back there, maybe for the Beer Fest in February.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't fully decided yet, but I'll let you know if I do. But Trez, always a great supporter here on the channel. If anybody wants to check out on the memberships, make sure you check in the description. There's where the membership link is. And I am going to be doing something of a membership type thing here as we head into the end of the year. So just saying. Trez, I actually sent a few beers to in the past that he had not had before that he really liked. So again, that's where the whole thing comes into experiencing beers that you didn't know about, you know, where a lot of breweries drop the ball.
Get the MD.
We're not getting that crazy, Gilbert. Come on, man.
Maybe if it was Saturday, but not today.
I think one of the funny, I saw a meme the other day, and I've seen it a few times before, but it's always funny. Like it was the people like the MD, they didn't realize it was Morgan David. They always thought it was just Mad Dog, you know?
I thought it was Mad Dog.
Yeah, everybody thought it was like a Mad Dog. We were doing it years ago, and no, it actually stood for Morgan David, but it took on Mad Dog as you ended up having it, I guess. Some stories.
The same effect. Let me have a Morgan David 2020. Give me the Mad Dog.
There's some stories from back there in the day for sure with some Mad Dog. Yeah. Yeah, Mad Dog, White Irish Rose. It's funny. One of my high school friends, actually grade school and high school friends, he lives in Baltimore where I'm at now. So we caught up a couple months ago. We went over to Guinness and stuff like that. So it's the first I've seen him since being back in the area. We just, you reminisce when you see people from back in the day and stuff. And we just talked about some of the stories of us like drinking back then. And we were like in high school, so we were like underage and stuff like that. And one time we had an episode where we were drinking White Irish Rose. Mm-hmm. So we got White Irish Rose from the store, and we were drinking on the way home. We were walking home drinking the White Irish Rose, and one of our buddies was with us. He was totally lit by it. So this is like November, where it's like 40 degrees, 30-something degrees, and like that and everything. And we're walking past the Burlington Coat Factory, which was then next to like a carpet factory there, or like off of one of the routes there, Route 130. And he's like, I got to sit down for a second, right? And so our buddy has to sit down. He starts taking off his jacket and stuff. He's like stripping down, like, it's too hot. It's too hot. We're like, what are you doing? And it's just like, so basically we had to you get him on one side, your buddy gets on the other. And we had to basically carry him like another, like, I don't even know. It was probably like quarter to half a mile to his house or whatever. Like, like when somebody's drinking like that, they're dead weight. So we're gonna like dragging him like up the street and everything and drop him off at his step. It was like Animal House, ring the doorbell, drop him off and run. But yeah, Wild Irish Rose tore us up that night. So but I had the benefit in high school where I was a freshman. I was already growing a beard. So our local liquor store that we had was like ran by an Indian couple, and I think they thought I was older than I actually was. So I was actually able to go in and get served. So seniors would actually ask me as a freshman to go get them alcohol, which was actually pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
They knew Rod J before Rod
Yeah.
Okay, we'll serve you.
But Wild Irish Rose, Mad Dog. Didn't have Boone's Farms to college. That was kind of in that college area, but yeah, those are some things that tore you up back then. But you didn't know really the word. We were talking about earlier, like the old style type thing. It was like, oh, it's alcohol, just drink it. Okay, no problem. Oh, it's funny on some of the old stories from back then when you think back. I told Todd before, I think back to some of the stuff we did in high school. And I don't know if it's all the generations, but I feel like with Gen X, maybe it's just because it was our generation. I'm like, I should have probably died a few times, like doing stuff that we did that was kind of stupid. Like, you know, when you watch Faces of Death, you feel like, you're invincible. You know, I could have survived that.
Yeah, I think you see now, you're like, that wouldn't be made the cut.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? That shit ain't real.
Oh man.
At least Gen X, when we did it, there was no social media at that point in time.
Which is a good thing, because I don't know how long statute of limitations can run. But I'm just saying it was a good thing.
Yeah. And everybody had a camera in their pocket.
Yeah, that was
whatever. Yeah.
The 80s was it's a crazy time in the 80s for sure. So, fun time to come of age. But yeah, there's the stuff with some of the drag racing stuff we did, some of the parties. I've mentioned before, like being in high school, we would drink like for stuff like when I was on the football team senior year. I never realized it until later I was in college that we were always partying at the local drug dealer's house. Like I never realized that like there was a room for alcohol, there was a room for marijuana, there was a room for cocaine. It was like everybody was kind of in different sections, and never realized that. He was always hosting, like he was a drug dealer.
Come on in.
So it was just like you look back to the 80s.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I always tell people, if you want to see what the 80s was like and you weren't born yet, go back and watch Bright Lights, Big City. That's like one of the perfect 80s movies, or Less Than Zero. That's kind of how 80s partyings were kind of like back in the day. So. But we all survived it and stuff. So COVID wouldn't have had a chance back in the 80s. We'd have kicked his ass.
Like, get out of here.
We were not the generation to be messed with. Yeah, Silver October. That's what they're doing over there. I mean, at least it's almost over for Silver October.
ETF.
See, yeah, Todd's Grilling. Got to get Todd's Grilling channel going.
All right, see, now everybody's hyping it up, so we'll see. Might do some like promos or something behind the scenes and be like, no, it sucks. I ain't doing this.
The fans have spoken. Yeah, the fans have spoken. They want you to do the grilling channel.
They're like, what is this? This is hot dogs. What do you mean? This is hot dogs.
Hot dogs in old style.
What do you mean, Rob?
Liver damage, does that exist? Liver damage, I always thought about that, like joking, like, people's like kidney transplants. It's like, you already get a kidney transplant. It's like, ooh, but what if I ever need that kidney again? Because I drink a lot.
My cousin, I don't know if I ever told you this on the channel. Like my cousin a couple of years ago had to get a kidney transplant.
Yeah.
Because he got some kind of like bacteria
Ooh.
Something like the doctors couldn't figure it out. So anyway, I went as far as to like get on the donor list. Anyway, his wife actually ended up being match or whatever and gave him kidney.
Yeah.
So
that's a scary thing.
He has to take medicine and stuff, and he can drink a beer a day or a day, but he has to kind of.
He's got to be careful about it.
Yeah.
Monitor that.
Kind of like Joe does. Kind of has to be careful.
Yeah.
Drinking or
Yeah, if I had a family member that had to help out and do something with it, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But it's kind of like, it's funny. It's just like, I need to see that checklist. Like, what can I do with that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I was like, does that mean I'm going to stop drinking altogether?
It depends on the family member. How old are you? Well, you're 79, so you're pretty much had a good life, right?
Like, no, you're going to die here soon. So
yeah, I mean,
I'll just keep it.
It's like you see Dick Cheney get a heart at 96. Like, why are you giving him a heart? He's 96. You don't get that much longer.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Bill. Great to have you, homie. Yeah, get some rest. And if y'all checked out Beer House, definitely check him out as well. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know if I get back for that. And of course, Todd will probably come up too if I'm back for that in February. So.
Hey, what's up, Tress? Yeah, I must have stepped away. I didn't know he was on there.
Yeah, he popped in a little bit ago. He's working.
Yeah, well, let us know if you do want to come back for that. We'll definitely come in for that.
See what the wife says. I'm thinking, like I said, I told you before last week, I think October, try to go to Great American Beer Fest. If I can go February, Cincinnati Beer Fest. And then we're probably going to do like an anniversary trip in April, I think, somewhere. We haven't decided yet, but
just know where I'm at. I'm like,
see, just do it while you can do it when you're available to do it, because you never know. Nothing's guaranteed, right? So you want to.
Well, I mean, that's true. But next year's our 20th anniversary.
Oh.
Our daughter graduates. So it's like, well, I don't know where we're going to do. I don't know where we're going to have.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking in my mind maybe Spain or something next year. I would like to go to European
bank or something to have money to pay for it.
I like to go to Europe for like 2 weeks or so, but the wife, she likes to go to one spot and stay at one spot. And I'm thinking you go to Europe and you can go here to there to there
travel.
To there. But she wants to be like, no, I just want to go to a resort place and just stay there, kind of thing.
When you have to do it for 2 weeks for sure.
Yeah, but Spain has some good beaches I've seen on YouTube as well too. It'd be kind of cool. So,
are they all nude beaches?
Well, I never was really going to think that. I think some were topless or something, but I mean, so Dominican Republic, that was a good spot too. So, or you go to Miami. Miami has topless.
South Florida,
South Beach, yeah. These are ideas when I'm in Maryland. You never know how capital I. It's like, it's the whole capital I and the lowercase L. It's like. You couldn't have fixed this on the damn keyboard, you know. you type out owl, like I apostrophe LL, and you're like, is that owl or is that Lil? Because there's a lot of people named Lil out there.
Right. But all it's the same. I'm not sure what that is.
And Trent said, "What up, Todd?" as well. So yeah. So I know a lot of people are getting excited on the gaming part because at 49 minutes here in the States, it'll be live for Call of Duty. I'll be playing that tomorrow for sure.
You'll be playing it tonight for you. Oh, we have to download it though first.
Well, Trez has PlayStation. Back in the day, me and Trez used to play Madden and stuff too, so he's on PlayStation as well. Which I think Trez, you're playing Call of Duty too. We need to hook up and get you into.
You're all going to break me down. I'm going to get the new Call of Duty and suck just like they used to. So
the new one is actually better in that. So with the new version, it's more skill based, so it puts you with like kind of your skill set, but also it's not like as many like people are playing and like they like to beat up on other people basically. So like it doesn't tell you exactly where people are. Like you actually have to do work. Imagine that. Like back in the day when we learned video games, we had actually worked through stuff. It was just given to us, right? So and not like now, like in the past ones, it was like you see a dot, you know exactly where a person is. Now you got to actually find out where they are type stuff. So I think a lot of like for us, like old school type stuff, it'll be more fun for sure. I've been to Punta Cana, very nice as well. Bring the clubs. Yeah. We had a great time when we were down there in Dominican Republic. 6-month-old can of hyped Aussie triple IPA. They just rebrewed, so I have a fresh can. Go to compare it to side-by-side store. That's interesting. Yeah, y'all check out Sam. Check out Sam as well. So you got a 6-month triple IPA and then a new IPA. That's kind of a good experiment just to see how it may have faded over time.
I don't feel that it's going to be that much different.
Well, it's a triple IPA, so some of the dry hops or the hops are going to probably be down a little bit.
Well, I mean,
but it's usually more maltier for a triple IPA.
That's what I was going to say. It might be a little sweeter, a little more malty, but I don't feel like that'll be a really good video. That'll be a really good video.
Sam's got good stuff there, so definitely check him out. Call of Duty campaign. It is. I got to finish the campaign. So here's the thing with the campaign, Trez. If you finish the campaign, there's more rewards they're giving to you in Modern Warfare 2, like for the multiplayer type stuff. So I think I'm like maybe an hour in. I think the campaign is maybe like 7 hours. So I am going to try to finish the campaign this weekend to see what other stuff it unlocks. But I ended up getting a vaulted edition, so I got like a bunch of stuff coming tonight as well. So that's
where I felt with Call of Duty is like I don't put in enough time or effort to
It's like YouTube. You got to put the time and the effort in.
Oh, the big problem with YouTube's like, whatever. I'm just saying you did it this time. I'm just like I did.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, the beer, the reaction. I cut down my channels to 3 channels. I got the beer, the reaction, and the gaming channel. Technically, I have a 4th channel, which is just under my name because YouTube always has like your base channel type thing. But everything I'm kind of doing is going to be in those 3 channels now. So my next goal is to get the gaming channel up over 1,000 people, which is really tough because gaming is a tough area on YouTube.
So did you drop the hip hop part of it altogether?
I'm dropping the Hip Hop Chronicles, and I'm moving the videos I did on Hip Hop Chronicles over to the reaction channel.
Oh,
and then on the reaction channel, I'm going to share various stories of old hip hop at times, but also do new reactions to new stuff as well. So
there you go. Yeah, that might actually be better.
Yeah, so those will be kind of like, they'll still be like chronicles, but they'll be like kind of look back chronicles on how it impacted stuff. So like I just moved over to Kraftwerk, and I moved over, I think, the Cool Herc. I'll do like the Grandmaster Flash and some other stuff there. But, you know, I was kind of running through some stuff. I talked to EB about some of the things there as well. And it's kind of like a transition to kind of get some of that stuff over there. Because I have a lot of newer people watching it that don't know the history of hip hop. So these will be kind of ways to teach them about the history of it too.
You know what you could do is like criticize your own video.
I could. I was gonna actually. So it's funny you mentioned that.
You know, just because like, you know, maybe some of your thoughts have changed or whatever of those. Like you can like criticize like that jackass that always talking about, even though you're calling yourself a jackass. You know what I mean? Like, that might be kind of good. Like that could be kind of good.
It's funny you said that because I thought about that on the beer channel. So I was going to actually go back and do a challenge to actually pull my first beer video and do a reaction to it on the beer channel, and then challenge other people to do the same on their channels. So I was going to name some people to actually go ahead to do the same thing, pull your first video, do a reaction, see where you're at now versus where you were at then.
That's actually pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. So I haven't done it yet because, again, time is only so short. I need more than 24 hours in a day, apparently.
You'd evolve over that time. So you look back and you're like, oh, that sucks. What was I thinking?
I mean, if I did that to like you, Wayne, like would like you go back and sit there and do a reaction to your first channel, how do you feel? Like, would it be like, what was I thinking here? What was I thinking there? Kind of cringeworthy type things, or you know,
absolutely.
I think it'd be kind of cool.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like what, 2 years in, so
yeah.
Just thinking something like Rod or whatever. How many years you're in, and it's like, geez.
When you're watching, like, what was I rambling at that point? You know, kind of type things, or what was I thinking with that? So yeah. So I may still do that though. So a little sneak peek for the people viewing. I may have that video come in and put that challenge out
cool.
there.
That would be cool though.
Yeah,
that would be.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun. I think people should be learning from the experience. And you know, one thing, and I haven't mentioned to you before, Wayne, but one of the things I like to do on my channel is to spotlight other channels and kind of talk about what they're doing. So I'll shoot you a thing offline, you know, get you set up to have you come in for like a YouTuber spotlight video, and we'll talk about your channel and things you're doing. Like I said, I'm all about helping everybody else, so I want to make sure to give you that opportunity too. And I've done it with various other channels, and it's always fun. It's always interesting just to kind of get your perspective on stuff too. So prepare yourself. That's what I'm saying.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate all the support and the shout outs over the last couple of years, because you've been a big supporter of my stuff, and I appreciate that.
No, definitely. I love doing the support. I love what you're doing there. I love people spreading the word. I'm all about helping to kind of grow. Like I said, for me, when I did this, well, it'd be 8 years in March. When I started this channel, I had that support base. I had people that I would talk with, or, you know, be able to provide that kind of support. And the person I mentioned, his name was Strat up in Canada that died. I had him. I had like Brew Review, you know, talking to DJ's Brew Tube. And it's just, you pull
I mean,
that
it makes a
information,
difference.
and
Does
if
help.
you can, huh?
I said it makes a difference and does help. For
Oh,
sure.
it definitely does,
Yeah.
and to be able to pass that information over to the next one, because none of us are here forever. I mean, Father Time is still undefeated, so during the period of time that we're here, if we can keep passing that information on, that keeps it alive for other people to kind of benefit from that too and have that success. And I always believe, helping others is a way that'll help yourself down the line too. So it's kind of like, if we have knowledge, I'm always about passing along to other people to try to help them build what they're trying to do. And it's just the way that I am, so to speak. So it's kind of like, if I can provide anything to you to help you grow and become better about what you're doing, I'm all about that. And I do the same thing, like my regular work job. Any of the new guys, I tell them, if you need anything, let me know. I'll provide anything I can to help you become the person that you're trying to be. And I do the same thing here with YouTube, or people that try to do the podcast, or people that try to do, grow their Instagram, their Twitter, whatever like that, and everything, because we all have knowledge that we can share. And it's not about, trying to get people to pay you for stuff. It's just like, I would have just share that knowledge and see this as I get rewarded off the success that you're actually having. So if I can pass that along and it helps you build, I'm happy about that. So
Absolutely.
And I think that's what it should be more about. Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
So I love doing the interviews and stuff like that and everything. And speaking of interviews upcoming for people watching, I actually spoke to Eric from Lord Hobo, so he's coming back for another thing. We had set the date for that, but I have him on from Lord Hobo Brewing. And I did speak to M. Salter, who's been on in the past, and she had a new book that came out this year for the stuff that she's doing, so we're going to get her back on as well. I got some other people I'm reaching out to too that we'll have some stuff on.
Nice.
One of the more interesting things is going to be, I'm going to have I got to get it down with the day, but Daddy Porter, who I do a lot of stuff with him with the video game stuff, and also we do the Twitter Spaces, and he does the different stuff on YouTube. He basically had an incident that just happened at one of the breweries in Wisconsin. That'll be kind of interesting to find out. They were actually at the brewery or whatever, and a situation occurred. So we're going to be kind of getting into that, and again, talking about some of the diversity inclusion type things that he actually experienced there, because I have not been in that situation that he is actually in, but it was kind of a bad type situation. So I never have a problem about naming when a brewery's not doing what they need to be doing out there, or if they're having shenanigans happen. Shout out to Super Troopers, but I will be bringing that up too. So it'll be a brewery out of Wisconsin that basically we'll discuss and kind of talk about there as well. So I always try to keep people informed when stuff is happening, and I always have no problem calling the brewery to the carpet when need be if there's something that's going on that shouldn't be happening there. So there's a lot of good stuff coming to the channel. It's just, we get back to the whole time thing. We can keep playing all this stuff, right? Like, I've got a lot of good connections and a lot of good stuff happening. It's just a matter of getting it all put together.
I got you.
Find the time to do it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of time, I'm going to need to
Powerball so you can retire and all the time in the world. Right?
If I had the Powerball, I could just do YouTube all day long, right? So yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of time, I'm going to jump off of here because 5 a.m. comes real quick. So.
Oh yeah, that's earlier than me. So yeah, give him a shout out again. Give him a shout out again about the podcast. I put your link earlier in the channel as well, but let the people know that came in later about your YouTube channel, your podcast, and all that stuff before you jump off here.
Yep, you can catch my shenanigans here on YouTube at Wayne's Beer Delivery. If podcasts are your thing and you want to hear more about the beer scene in South Carolina, Upstate Beer Boys Podcast, we are on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, probably a couple others I'm forgetting to mention. But we're 24 episodes in. We got more episodes coming up. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, definitely. Any beers you got coming up on the YouTube channel you want to highlight or anything?
Well, we might have a couple Halloween themed beers coming up pretty soon. So
Stay tuned. Yes.
stay tuned.
Yeah, so make sure y'all check out Wayne as well. Great stuff coming out of South Carolina where he's at. But I appreciate you coming in, homie. And like I said, every last Thursday of the month, open panel type thing. Usually me and Todd are doing the other weeks, but we're going to have people in to come in and share the stuff happening on their channels and hopefully get you some more people out there, some more attention, and keep doing what you're doing, brother.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Glad you can
Thanks
join
for having me
tonight.
on.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Cheers, buddy.
Have a good one, Wayne.
Good guy right there. Wayne's doing some good stuff. He's doing some great stuff out of South Carolina.
I like that you're doing that, like on the last Thursday of the month or whatever. Like, it's good.
You got to remind me to keep doing
People,
it, because I almost forgot. Like, we did it before. It's like, oh, yeah.
Kind of expand or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. I like having people come in, share their stories, and be able to get some more love out there. So, again, anybody that's got the brewery stuff, you want to come in, or the beer stuff, I should say, we'll get you set up. And sometimes we have a bigger panel. Sometimes it's a little one-on-one. You know, we've had it with Wayne there. We had Dave come in from Beer in Front. We've had Mal in from Imperfectly Craft. So we're all about rotating that through and sharing some of the love. Sam said, people like Craig Bierman and yourself are great at bringing up other peeps in the community I admire. Well, I appreciate that, Sam. Thank you, homie. It's a big world, and we all have opportunities to actually share and provide and help others actually have success. I'm all about helping a person out of the basket rather than pulling them down, I guess is the way to say it. So if I can give you a hand up rather than pulling you down, I'm all about that for sure. And, you know, Wayne's a great guy. He needs to have some more success there. And hopefully you guys check him out as well yourself. Always good fun doing it. Craig is about to make the first peeps together. I agree. Craig is freaking awesome.
What's Sam's channel? Is it just Sam Smalley? Or?
Yeah, just Sam Smalley now. Yeah.
Well, I just put in YouTube. There's several of them that pop up, so I wasn't sure.
Let me see here. I'm checking my
This
stuff.
kind of look like a kind of a Halloween type, like.
Hyping when your buzz can be kind of an experiment.
I just want to make sure I subscribe to the right one.
Well, Sam, you had another channel previously. I think you changed the name of it.
I forgot the E. That might be why. I just did SMALLY. I forgot the E. Well, it came with the same, so. Yeah, I don't think this was the right one because this last video was like 6 years ago.
Oh, he said he hadn't actually started YouTube yet, just Insta, but we'll be there soon.
Oh, okay.
It was a Halloween. Pair your most favorite trash 80s, 90s horror movie with the beer you drink to watch it now and why. Emerson, where do you come up with this shit? Your favorite trash.
Thanks about this shit for like a half hour.
Favorite trash 80s, 90s horror movie. Is trash like a bad horror movie or?
No, I just think it's just kind of a random like Halloween or whatever, like Freddy Krueger or whatever, kind of like to me anyway. I would assume. It's not terrible. It just fits a genre.
Because I'm like, is it Friday 13th like number 5 or 6 or something, or like you're just favorite movie there? The beer you drink to watch it now. 80s, 90s horror movie. So you got to think back to the 80s and 90s. So you're thinking of slasher films. So you got Halloween.
To me, the favorite there would be like just the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
And just drink it with what?
I feel like that would definitely be a stout of some sort, just because of I think it's slasher movies this time of year where it starts cooling off or something. So it'd be kind of a nothing in particular, but just some sort of a stout.
Well, you could have done Nightmare on Elm Street and like Night Owl, Lycian. Because owls are up at night and they're not sleeping.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. 1, 2.
Not going to sleep tonight, son. Well, I think my favorite 80s was the original Halloween.
I mean, that's hard.
Although one that's a horror movie that people don't often pass on is The Thing with Kurt Russell. That was actually a pretty good horror movie back in the day. I don't think people associate it that way, but The Thing was pretty good.
I always remember as a kid going to the drive-in and seeing like Phantasm.
Phantasm was in my head too. I was thinking Phantasm as well. The little wall,
The
yeah.
guy like chop his fingers off and it's in the box or whatever in the sink. I was like, what is? I need to watch that because I was little then watching that. I remember that going to the drive-in.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
it seemed like maybe it was always at Halloween. I always played on I don't go on the drive-in.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Halloween and drinking the blackout stout since that's out now again.
But then on the caveat he says NY.
And why? Why the blackout stout? Because I mean, Michael Myers is after you. You might as well just black out and die because you're not going to get away from him.
Stout just like a random stout. Like why? Just because it feels like it should be horror movies. Feels like Halloween-ish, kind of coldy, whatever.
Yeah. But you know what the cool thing was back in the day? We talk about like as a kid horror movies back then, and it was like, you know, who was the worst one? Like out of Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and like Jason Voorhees, right? You're always like Michael Myers because Michael Myers never had to run after anybody. He never ran.
No,
he never ran.
Walked
he
was
just
like whatever.
Do what you think you can do, but you're not getting away from me. You're not getting away.
Well, that's because everybody always ran from him and they tripped and fell. Like, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
But Jason ran and Freddy ran at times. Michael Myers never ran. You never will see Michael Myers run in the Halloween movies. He's just like, I'm strolling, son. Yeah. He was just like, where you going? I got you. I got you.
Yeah, you can run all you want. You can run.
He was not burning extra calories for nobody. Let's see. Dickie's back. Cheers, homie.
What's up, Dickie?
Part of the UK community and some of the US guys think miscellaneous beer man, East Coast, Beer Patrol, they're pushing me to hurry up and get on YouTube, just haven't had the equipment. Yeah, it's all you need is the camera, son. That's all you need, just the camera. I do a lot of stuff now on the YouTube. I went back to using the iPhone. I just shoot the iPhone video, and then I upload it after I put it through. Like anything, if I need to edit anything, I'll put it through the editor. But it's all you need nowadays. I mean, you can actually just do it right from the phone if you're good.
That's the other part is like, I don't have the equipment to do that shit. So like,
you got a phone. Actually, the phone cameras.
I do have a phone, and she's got an iPad. So
I mean, the phone camera is as good as any of the cameras out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the thing was great. That soundtrack, Ellie was great as a horror one as well.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I still watch the Alien movies.
I need to go back and watch that one because I haven't seen that forever.
Now that I think about it, in the 80s, probably my favorite horror movie, instead of Halloween, was probably The Shining. The Shining was probably... Because I still feel like when I watch it, I'm still like yelling at the TV for Scatman not to go around that corner when he gets the axe. I'm like, don't go around that corner.
It's kind of creepy. Like when you see the twins standing down the hallway, you're like,
yeah.
Son of a...
Kids like,
You know,
red
you're not
rum.
in that hallway, turn the lights on, making sure.
Red rum.
Yeah.
Red rum. I like this.
Another one that kind of scared me when I was little was like Cujo.
Cujo was a scary one because we all loved
Right?
dogs. We all loved dogs back then when we were little.
You're
So
right.
it was like,
yes.
it's like
We're like stuck in the car for days.
she tries to make him open the door, and Cujo comes, and it's like, Cujo was a badass movie back then.
Yeah, Cujo was a good one too.
And the only dog I've ever been bitten by was a Saint Bernard. So obviously Cujo's a little stigmatizing for me. It's kind of like, I got a little thing with there with Cujo because that's the only type of dog that ever bit me. That damn dog is supposed to bring you beer.
Damn it.
I've seen stuff from the Swiss Alps. The Saint Bernards are supposed to bring you beer. That dog bit me. I don't appreciate it.
Yes. Damn you! Why'd you buy me for? Bring me beer. I want something good. I was paying something to get rid of.
Yeah. Cujo was a good one. It was like Dee Barnes, I think, was the actress in that one. Yeah. Poltergeist was in the 80s too.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah, I was thinking Eddie Murphy. Like, what was the one he did? It wasn't Raw. It was the other one. It was the first one he did. I think he was talking about Poltergeist. Begin with a D.
Delirious.
And he's like, did you try to save her? We tried to turn the channel. She didn't come out.
I was thinking that was after Raw. That might have been before Raw, actually.
Or the animal horror. He's like, get out. And they're like,
I'm out. All right.
I'm out.
I'm good.
They're like, fuck that dog. Eddie Murphy had some good stand up back in the 80s.
Oh, he was great. So was Richard Pryor, though. He had some good stuff, too.
Remember, like, Lillian, if this whole house burned down, you better not have left the house. Oh, shit. He needs to go back to stand up. He said he was going to go back to stand up when his kids were of age, but he hasn't done it yet. But
oh, he should at least do it one time before.
Well, I know they're doing a new Beverly Hills Cop movie. I heard they're doing a new Beverly Hills Cop he's working on right now. Is what?
Nick Nolte going to be in it also?
No, that's Traded Spaces. That was no. Wait a minute. 48 Hours.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry. Beverly Hills Cop is what he's doing. Yeah, it's 48 Hours. But I wonder if Judge Reinhold will be in this one too. It was Judge Reinhold and the other guy that was Taggart. That was his partner.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 48 hours. I was thinking. Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop was pretty funny when that came out. Yeah. Surge. He's like Surge Bronson Pinchot, whatever. Like Axel.
Yeah. Right.
Oh man. Some funny ass movies. Trez is a Silver Bullet. I never got big into Silver Bullet. That was the werewolf one with Stephen King. I don't know why I didn't. But Firestarter was pretty good.
Yeah, Firestarter was good. I don't know if I've ever seen Silver Bullet, actually.
That's the one with the werewolf in the wheelchair.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever seen it, though.
Really?
I don't think so.
Right, I'm on an auction. Guess how much first Wolverine appearance went for? What? Wolverine is a big beer drinker. Yeah, he is a big beer drinker. What auction are you on right now? I wonder how much it went for. How much? How rad would it be having a dog bringing you beer? I just brought me dead person sticks. Yeah, right? I remember as a kid watching cartoons and now the St. Bernard would show up with like a beer under his chin or whatever.
Right, yeah. Just have like a little small keg underneath his chin or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, here you go.
Yeah. St. Bernard I ran into bit me. And I actually knew the St. Bernard too, but I think other kids, it was my buddy's house. I think when they moved to Atlantic City, they were teasing it and stuff. And I forgot who I was or something. I don't know.
The dog was like, no beer for you.
Yeah. And it got me like when I was trying to get in the door because it came running after me and I tried to run into the door before it got to me. And my foot was still out. It just got my ankle at the last second. I was like, are you kidding me? It's kind of like getting shot in Warzone, the last possible second for cover. Like, I was like, man down. I need a medic.
Kind of reminds me of the Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Used to chase me
I think I
all
was trying to
night.
get my Batman toy at the time when it did it too. Damn, Batman got me in trouble. It was like the little
That's what happened with
Batmobile.
DC
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, should have went Marvel. Should have went straight Marvel back then.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have been fine.
7,500. Damn. Yeah, Wolverine used to be one of my, well, for the longest time, my favorite Marvel character. But I used to be, at one point, when I first started reading comic books, I think my first favorite characters were Thor and, who's the other one? Ghost Rider. I used to like both of those comics when I was a kid. And I used to like Iron Man. He was another one. Iron Man I always liked. But then when I came across Wolverine, he became my favorite. Spider-Man I used to like, though, too. But
I kind of I like Wolverine and Iron Man also, I think.
you know what the cool thing about Wolverine and Iron Man was? Like, Wolverine was just like, when he wasn't Wolverine, he was still a cool dude, right? And like, the same thing with Iron Man. Tony Stark was just a cool dude.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was...
Tony Stark.
Yeah, he wasn't like a dweeb like Spider-Man or like when Bruce Wayne wasn't Batman or something like that and everything. It was kind of like they were cool whether they were the superhero or not. So it was kind of
right.
They were like a
those
dweeb.
guys were like, okay.
Like Superman was Clark Kent, which was like a dweeb when he wasn't
Nerdy
Superman type
dweeb
thing.
kinda.
Yeah. But Wolverine was like still chill. He was still chill when he was just Logan, you know? Tony Stark was just rich and chill, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Probably want to be Tony Stark because he had empires after empires.
Maybe a little pretentious, but he was still chill. So,
Right.
I feel like it wasn't until the Dark Knight when Batman became kind of a cool person to be, you know. But the pre-Dark Knight Batmans, they were called kind of corny. So, nobody liked him as much.
Well, it's because it started out with Robin. It was kind of the wham, bam. You know,
the Adam West Batman was goofy
then
as
it kind
hell.
of grew into the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it's like now I watch the new season's about to come on for the Gotham show. What is it? It's with Nightwing and the other characters, but like it's a cool like Robin. Like he's Nightwing now, and it's like it's not like the old. It's like the old dopey type Robin character.
You're right,
like,
right.
Okay. Well, he's kind of cool now, you know, kind of doing their own thing. I get that.
Anymore, he's kind of his own.
Yeah.
Super
Kind of debate. I do want to see Black Adam at some point. I'm kind of interested in how Rock does that character. But I think the guy that played the parents on Shazam, who's Jerry on Walking Dead, I think they replaced him. So that's kind of bumming. I think I saw like a trailer of somebody else that was playing that role.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of odd.
Yeah, Cujo St. Bernard, you sure it wasn't him, right? Yeah. It may have been. The only dog I've ever been bit by, St. Bernard. Yeah.
And I've gotten chased down by a Chihuahua every now and again.
Chihuahuas are just like, yeah.
They're kind of finicky anyways. Like,
when I was a kid, like we had a neighbor that had a Chihuahua, and it always like freak us out. But I'm like, I think back, like, why was that? Like this thing is like so small, like you could just pretty much get the field goal with it. But
they didn't give a shit.
yeah,
they're kind of like bigger than their.
What a Napoleon complex they had.
Yes.
And I'm like, I look back and I'm like, I could have easily booted him over the wires like it was a field goal if he'd ever came at me. But as a kid, it like tormented, like see a Chihuahua or something. Yeah, my great aunt, she used to have a dog. I don't know what the breed was. I feel like it was a mix of a poodle or something, but so smart dogs are. So the dog would always sense when I was about to leave, and the dog would actually untie my shoelaces.
Really?
And I had to go. I just stopped to bend down and tie my to keep me from
out.
leaving. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. It was just like, yeah, every time I was about, And then would hear like we're about to leave or something like that, and everything like that, and dog would come over and start untying my shoelaces, which was kind of interesting.
Dogs are freaking smart.
Dog was a smart dog, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 It was a good dog.
Like, it definitely, like, sense those kind of things. Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
our dog does that now. Like, he knows if we're going on away for vacation, even for the weekend. So this is packing our, like, bags or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just, like, his whole demeanor, like, just changes.
Yeah.
Kind of like, where are you going? I want to, stands in front of the door where we're getting ready to leave.
You know something's up here. Like,
Yeah,
what's happening here? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, Spider-Man from the 60s. I remember those Spider-Man. Yeah, I remember that. Well, Spider-Man, as an early kid, like the Electric Company used to have a Spider-Man skit on there. I don't know if you had the Electric Company when you were younger, but
What's your company? Oh,
yeah, it was after like Sesame Street, and it was like they had a Spider-Man thing on there. So Spider-Man goes way back.
I remember the Electric Company.
God, it was Emerson. Beer that you're drinking after learning a zombie apocalypse has started, but you have 3 days before you have to fight. You can have one good hangover.
Ooh. I'm going to go pee real quick, and I'm going to think about that one.
Oh, great.
Drink after learning the zombie.
Beer that you can drink after learning a zombie apocalypse has started, but you have 3 days before you have to fight. Well, I guess if it's a zombie apocalypse, no better time to try to get Pliny the Elder since I haven't had it. So probably try to get Pliny, or you know what? Maybe try to get the one from Alchemist. What is that one here? Hetty Topper. Maybe Hetty Topper. Yes, Morgan Freeman was Easy Reader. You're right. And LeVar Burton reading Rainbow, too. I remember back in the day, we used to have the bookmobile. I don't know if you guys had the bookmobile back in the day where the van or whatever it was, kind of like a van or a camper, would show up in your neighborhood and it would have various books, and you would check them out for the bookmobile. It was kind of like a roving library. That was always a pretty cool thing. Used to read a lot back in the day compared to now. So there was always something good about going to the library and reading some books. I used to go to the library, read books, also listen to music because they used to have all the vinyl records there. And that's where I kind of developed a lot of the music appreciation I've had in the past. I used to pull out stuff from like the 60s and the 50s. I mean, I would listen to fucking 16 Tons. I would listen to the Grease soundtrack. I would listen to all kinds of shit. Big band music, orchestra music. I think the library still is one of the most underutilized resources we even have in America, that you can actually go and increase your knowledge for free, basically. Libraries are something that everybody should support.
So what was your answer on that one?
I said, well, it's probably Pliny the Elder or Hetty Topper, since I haven't had them yet. I mean, no better time to try to get those in.
Well, that was going to be the next question. Is it a beer that you've had before or a beer that you want to try?
I mean, if you can get to any beer, I would think it'll be one, whatever's high on your bucket list. Like Sam said, yeah, Pliny and Hetty are big bucket list beers.
See, I've had both of them, so that's why I was like,
But see, I haven't had them.
No, I know. No.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, is it beers that you want to try or beers that you?
It could be a favorite beer. Like, you may not have it anymore since you got to fight the apocalypse. So maybe it's Robert the Bruce from Three Floyds. Get up that Scottish fighting skills, you know.
How about a good old like Miller Lite?
Miller Lite. That's a shit hits the fan type beer. Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah, libraries, last day before digital. I feel like people just missed opportunity with library. I mean, libraries are the last bastion of actually having that information. So I think back to when I watched the Book of Eli movie with Denzel, and the idea of being how important it was, the book that he actually had, which was actually the Bible, but it was in Braille. The knowledge of knowing that he had that book and people wanted it is just like, libraries have so much information out there that's readily available to you for free. That you can build your knowledge. Yeah,
that's so true. Because like our local library here, like go in there and there's like pictures from like, I don't know, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever.
Yeah.
When the town was barely even anything in the city we live in, it's like, it's kind of cool to see like some of the old picture stuff they got on the walls or whatever, you know.
Yeah. And I was talking about the bookmobile, and Trez said, yes, sir, we had one right. Yeah, the bookmobile as a kid was awesome. Oh, came around with the different books, and you would check them out and drop them back off when it came back out the next week or two. But I just feel like there's a thing with so many of the population now that have like young kids, and they put them in front of the TV, and they put them on the iPads, or they put them in all kinds of stuff. Some kids will learn from that, but some kids are just, doing a game or whatever it may be. And I was like, you're missing opportunity. Those years are so formative for the knowledge you can put into your mind. And as a kid, being able to go to the library and pick up knowledge from different resources. And I was talking earlier where you were going about how I used to listen to different music back then, from everything from big band orchestras to 16 tons to the Grease soundtrack to all kinds of different things.
Oh, right.
It was just
a variety
of great experience that I was able to actually pull in and develop a great appreciation of, that I feel like some kids may miss out today. Maybe not. I mean, I don't have kids myself, so maybe it's not as much as I'm thinking, but I just think like the library, last time I went to one, it's just like there's some people there, but it's not as much as you would think would be there. It's kind of like so much different things you can do at the library as far as building that knowledge base.
Well, I feel like everything's so much like internet based now. It's like
still reserver too.
A dime feed or whatever,
Yeah. JT said he have a still reserver too for the zombie attack. Is that liquid courage?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what else would it be at that point?
Yeah, right? At that point. Or you just say, well, hell, shit's hit the fan. I might as well drink some Still Reserve finally.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Zima's not back, so why not? So
I mean, worst case scenario, you're not going to feel anything if something does happen, so.
You finally say, I'll have a Colt 45.
Billy D.
Yeah. Shit's bad, man. It's bad.
You're like, oh, fuck it. Just let them.
I don't know. Some days, watching some of the people that we have nowadays in society, I think we're under a zombie attack already. It's like, how do you even do that? Like, just seeing people do shit, it's just like, how do you even get that thought process? Like, seeing some stuff that people do, it's just like, it's amazing at times. It's just like, what are you thinking
from a whole
there?
different realm of
yeah,
civilization or something, it's like, where did it come from?
It's like there was an old thing on Bill Cosby's comedy track back in the 70s, I think, and it was Bill Cosby as himself, and he was doing a thing talking about treating his kid to something. This kid would do stupid shit, and it was just like,
talking about his comedy thing. Bill
his comedy thing as himself, yeah. And he's like, why did you do that? And the kid's like, I don't know. It's like. It's like, you knew what was going to happen, so why would you do that? And the kid's like, I don't know. That's how society is at certain parts. Zombies, yeah. My mom and my brother and I grab books every time. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's what more people need to know. More about getting that knowledge in the head. We talked about it before on the channel here, video games isn't something new. I mean, we grew up with video games too, but we also had times where our parents were like, go out and play. Like, you're not playing video games right now. Go out there and do other stuff. Go do other things. Go do other activities, or go read or do something, So
Just get out of the house. I don't care what you do. Just get out of the house.
Yeah.
Do something.
They would have read Chinatown as a kid from the library, a person knowing what the need to seek and educate themselves for free, inspiration to write Irish Sound Nice. It's about drunks. Yeah, I mean, you had the opportunity to do that, and you can go into the library opens up many opportunities that you may not have seen before. You know, being able to read about different things and learn and educate and basically experience the world without having to go somewhere to maybe experience the world, because you learn about different things depending on what you're reading and stuff.
What is that? Other people's like point of view of things,
Right.
spectrum of whatever, you know.
Yeah. It's you know, it's funny now though that now we got some books that some people are trying to not have read, which is kind of crazy. But you know, I look at something like To Kill a Mockingbird, which is a great classic of American literature, and some schools are trying to ban it for people to read it. And I was like, why are you trying to ban them from something that's just part of history?
Right.
You know,
right.
it's just it's a great look at this book and how things were done, and you know, it's they're like, oh, it's just blah blah blah. I said, no, it's a literature work. It's kind of like Mark Twain on stuff that he'd actually done, like, you know, reading the different things that he put out there. It's holding America to a mirror, you know, kind of saying, here's what we're looking at. We can be better than this type thing.
Yeah, I always feel like it's like, how can you go forward if you ban things? It's where you might go back before, you know, at that time.
Some people want us to go back,
that,
though.
You know what I mean? Like,
some people want us to go back, apparently.
no,
so.
I know. Well, I mean, that's true for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, you may not agree with it now, but that's what it was back then. So, how can you move forward if you don't, you know where you come from?
Right. You have to know what the history is so you can adjust and, you know, not to repeat those type things.
Like, just because it was something happened 50, 60, 70, 100 years ago doesn't mean tomorrow's going to be the same way. Like, you want to improve on things and grow on those, you know?
Yeah. Oh, no doubt, Trez. There's definitely some craziness out there with some of the people. And I'm actually watching some of the stuff here for the next election. Arizona had like 9 or 10 referrals to the Department of Justice already for like voter intimidation out there. Like there's people out there watching ballot boxes that are like armed. Like, why the fuck are you watching? Like, the ballot box is already 24-hour surveillance. So why are you out here trying to watch it? Like, there's already a video on. I'm like, you were the dumbest motherfuckers.
And intimidation.
Yeah, and you're intimidating others that are trying to just come in and do their American duty to vote or whatever. It's just parts of the country. It's just, I feel like there's parts of the country I don't even want to visit anymore. It's just like, I don't even want to go give them any dollars. Don't want to see anybody there because they're becoming a lost cause. I'm like, you know, not to get into a political type thing, but I'm like, I'm sorry, if Georgia puts Herschel Walker in and we already got Marjorie Taylor Greene, if they want to secede, let them leave the game.
Yeah, right.
We already got
my niece turns 18 next Saturday, or let's see, next week sometime, I think it is.
Yeah.
Like, is she gonna get her like permit to vote in time or not? For
the register,
like the following Tuesday, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is there gonna be enough time? I don't know, but I was like,
yeah. Like, it's like, I don't care what party like people really vote for. I mean, I'm independent on stuff I do. I just like people to have fucking common sense. I just want common sense type stuff to come back in the country. Like, make America more commonsensical or something. Like, I can have that as a slogan. Just like, you know, you gotta admit when shit's just wrong. Just like, you know, there's a second woman now talking about Herschel Walker who also did an abortion type thing. It's kind of like, you can't go out there trying to be the whole pro-life thing if you're backing him on the whole thing there too. It's kind of like,
right.
It's just like, I feel like common sense went out the window in certain areas. And again, not to get into the political, what party you are or whatever you are there. I just want common sense and shit. Just bring back common sense.
Yeah. Common sense and politics don't jive together anyway, for the most part.
Not anymore. It used to. It used to be.
Yeah.
Back
Well,
in the day.
yeah. long time.
You know, even when like Reagan was president and the Democrats were in there, it was like, well, we don't like it, but it makes a point where they will work together. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of, we're becoming so much more fucking people just digging in on shit.
Because they're 80-year-old fucking white dudes and whatever. It's like, are you a D or an R? Are you red or blue? Like, they don't get what you think about. Like, they just care which side you vote, you know.
I mean,
it kind of becomes like the Yankees versus Red Sox.
Pretty much.
Well, then fuck you. I don't want to do what you got to say. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. It's like I was, I can admit, like, the defund the police, terrible slogan. Terrible. Know what you're trying to say, but that's not fucking it. Yeah. It's like, that's just terrible. Nobody wants to defund the police. We just want better police to actually do shit they're supposed to do. It's like I watched the Uvalde thing today. Uvalde police, after the whole Texas shooting thing, they had a thing today. And the parents, they're like, oh, we didn't find any fault that the officers did anything. It's like they didn't feel like they felt anybody in. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, y'all wouldn't go into the school. Y'all wouldn't do y'all job. It's like, you feel like you didn't hurt anybody, but you didn't help anybody either. Like, like all you fuckers should be off the payroll at this point. It's like, if you're going to take on that position, there's responsibility that comes to with it. You basically let little kids get shot instead of reacting to it and taking out the shooter. And then to see cops talking about it, saying, well, if that was my kid, I would have been in there or something like that. Or it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's just terrible. It's just like, there's nothing you could ever say to kind of defend that position. It's like, the one guy that was in charge, it's like, if we did anything wrong, I'll go ahead and retire first one. Like, why are you still here? You should have retired like weeks ago. You should be gone.
Why are you still talking?
I don't know what they showed you, but I can show you a lot of stuff where you guys screwed up here. I mean, for Texas to be a badass state that's supposed to be like all gun type thing, you guys pretty much tucked your tails and ran. I'm just
true. Very, very.
Yeah. It's like, but I saw that earlier and I was just like, God, I can't imagine what it would be like to be a parent. I mean, the parents will let them have it too at the meeting, but it's just like, it's not going to bring their kids back or anything like that, or the teachers that were lost, but it's just like, how can you sit there and not realize that you screwed up and think that you actually did the right thing? I don't know how they sleep at night, some of those people.
Well, because it didn't involve their kids or whatever.
Well, one officer said if her kid was in there, she would have went in.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying.
And it's like, so seriously, like, why are you still a cop at this point? When that video came out,
But, you're supposed to protect and serve. Doesn't matter if it's your kid or not. Like, why wasn't you there?
I don't want to get started on that thing because that thing just pisses me off every time I see them doing stuff. I was almost posted on Facebook earlier. Like, I called them the Keystone Cops. I want to apologize to the Keystone Cops. These guys are definitely worse than the fuck you are.
You're right. I don't know what the name is for it, but yes.
These guys, they were terrible. Yeah. Yeah, Google collected downfall. Well, you put more and more stuff into the machine, and the machine starts to take over at a certain point, right? So it's just crazy. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Hey, Vanessa, what's going on? Great to have you, my friend. Should I say Vanessa? Hey, Trez as well. Yeah, we're just kind of riffing at this point because we drink some beer. It's 12 o'clock, so we probably get ready to wrap up here. But yeah, I've seen that Uvalde stuff today. It was just like, I give credit to the parents because I feel like if I was one of those parents, I don't know how I wouldn't have jumped over a desk to try to attack that dude that was like the lead cop. I'd have been so pissed off on shit. Like,
well, being a parent of that, which our daughter would have been in high school at the time, I would have been like,
yeah.
Call the police. Oh, wait a minute. They won't come anyway. So
yeah,
shoot your ass and don't.
I feel like I would have told the wife, here's all the important information, and went into that meeting, and I'm probably going to jail tonight.
That's what I'm saying. Shoot you. You come in and save yourself. Oh, wait a minute. You're not going to save nobody. So I'm just going to shoot you anyway. And then then the rest will be what it'll be. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's so fucking irritating.
It's like he swore that oath, but you didn't uphold the oath. It's just like, yeah. It was just, yeah. Can't imagine, and thoughts out to those people that lost those people in that Uvalde thing, but
oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, I couldn't even imagine going through something like that.
yeah, that police force should be embarrassed for wearing that badge.
I don't know if they are, but they should be for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a crazy world we live in. Well, at least Putin hasn't blown us up yet, so.
Not yet.
Like in Ukraine and Russia, like what the fuck's going on over here anyway? Like, at least he came out and said there's no need for nukes. I'm like, okay, do you mean it? Like, you're not going to really use them, or are you just trying to
lull them to sleep and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah. Because that would be the shit. If he did something like that, it'd be over. It'd just be like, we'd have to respond at that point.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, why can't people just get along? More people drink beer and just relax. Just chill. Right? Get along.
It's so easy. Like, just drink beer.
You gotta get the rushes off the vodka and get them in the beer a little bit more. Like, just drink beer. Don't drink the vodka. Drink the beer. You'll chill. You'll be relaxed, you know?
Yeah, there's no point to get there that fast. Like, let's just ease into it. You know, several hours later, let's just conversate.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get to the
be done. Like, why? What's the point?
I'm not trying to get to the Walking Dead stage yet.
Right.
You know, fucking radiation in the air, like fallout shit. Yeah. Crazy world we're living in right now, but you always say hope cooler heads prevail, but you never know if they will. You just never know.
We can all help. So
at that point, just keep drinking all the good beer you can drink because you never know what's going to end, right? So,
true. Yeah. True statement.
They're showing the news again with the families under Texas. Yeah, crazy. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up for tonight since it's 12:05. 12:06 in the East.
You know what that means? Call of Duty is officially released.
It is officially released, and I can't play it right now.
Like 3 o'clock in the morning, downloading and playing.
I may log in just to see where my uploads are, but can't play it.
Yeah,
really.
that's where it starts.
I do have the new West Coast IPA shirt on, by the way, so you can see the West.
Oh, I do. I do.
Yeah, the black is pretty nice there. So yeah,
I like that.
West Coast IPA. Check it out in the store in the description.
Yeah, that's the one I said I wanted to buy. I do.
Yeah, this one just got this one done. Got some more ideas on the table as well, but yeah, for all you Ice Cube fans, West Coast IPA.
Is it only in black color?
Black or white. You can actually choose whatever color you want when you order it.
Okay. I always say that because if I wear a black T-shirt with our dog, it like sheds like a fucking cat.
Yo, gotcha.
Ends up white by the time, like the black color, like the black T-shirt is the worst. Like it shows up way worse than anything else. She's the white dog, so it's like hair on it. It's like that's the only reason why I asked. Like, is that black out that I want to wear? But I'm like, I won't put them on until I'm ready to go out the door. Just for that.
Yeah, you can get white, black. I think like blue, pink, all different types of colors. So you order it. It tells you different ones. Well, thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on there and get that.
Just created that one here. That's in the store there on Zazzle. And usually when you go into Zazzle, there's usually a discount or something they give you as well. But kind of digging this one. And then on the back, I'll turn this way. You can see the logo.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So that's what we're kind of looking at there.
That is a sick shirt. I like that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And then I think with Zazzle, they can ship anywhere around the world too. So if you are overseas, they can actually shoot it over to you. Yeah, Putin does want that land really bad. And now that we have Sweden and Finland, do we get both of them to join NATO? It's kind of like the only place that NATO's not on his doorstep is basically there with Ukraine. Because the other two countries are now pretty much NATO. Yeah.
Be all around except for there.
$500. I don't think it costs that much. It's just the shipping on it. But if you look at the link in the description, Zazzle, they ship all year, all around the world. So it might be a little bit more on the shipping, but I don't think it would cost that much. The shirt itself is only $20-something US, but then if you do the discount that's being applied, you'll get a little bit less off of that too, Sam. But I'm gonna come up with some more stuff as well. I got like the glass that's out there as well for the West Coast, and then as I brainstorm different ideas, I'm putting different stuff in the store. So I like this one now. I think this one's
I do like
pretty
that.
cool. Yeah,
Cool.
that's one of those things that came to me like in the shower, like
With the background, with the hops in the background. It's
yeah, with the hops
like
in it.
that, but it's
Yeah,
with the West Coast sign. Yeah, that's cool.
It's funny how shit hits you in the shower. You're not like trying to think about work, but it's like, I've got an idea. Like I got nothing to write it down on because I'm in the shower right now. But yeah.
Was you drinking a beer at the time, like a shower beer?
No shower beer.
No
just
shower
in the shower.
beer? Okay.
Just one of those things that kind of hits. I mean, it's weird. I think that when there's a relaxed state, sometimes you have the most clarity. So it kind of came in at that point. So
it's like things just kind of flood in. You're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Like, what if I could pull this off? And I sketched it down. And then when I got the time, I went online and put it together. And it's like, that actually looks pretty damn good doing it that way. So something different, something unique. Always, Trez, always. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that as well. And for those of you that have been listening to the podcast, I will have a new podcast episode probably this weekend. I haven't done it yet. But I will have the podcast out there for the Rod J Beercast. And that's on anywhere you get podcasts as well. And I'm going to have more reviews. Saturday, I'll probably be editing a lot of reviews to get pumped out for the next week or so. So I do have beers done. Just haven't uploaded them yet. It's just find the time as usual. I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have Eric coming on from Lord Hobo Brewing out of Massachusetts. I'm going to reconnect with Em on her latest book that she did for beer as well. And then I think Two Blondes Drink Beer. I've been talking to them to get them on something as well. Probably catch up with Wayne, maybe have him on for a spotlight. And then some other stuff. John Pierre's going to do some stuff there too. So a lot of different things. Big Daddy, Daddy Porter, looking to get him on, talk about his experience he's run into at the one brewery. That we'll be talking about that. So keep coming back to the channel. If you haven't subscribed because we have a lot of good stuff coming. And then also on Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So if it's beer, I am near. But I think that being said, we'll go ahead and get wrapped up here. And thanks for everybody that tuned in. Anything you have for final words there, Todd, or anything like that?
As always, appreciate Thursdays. Look forward to it. Appreciate everybody always chiming in. It's always a good time.
Yeah, I always appreciate everybody coming in. You guys make it fun, and it makes it a great opportunity to do stuff like this. So always appreciate all the stuff that you're doing with us here.
Oh, and stay tuned. You never know. Might have a cooking beer channel-ish maybe coming up. Who knows?
We're trying to get Todd to get this done. You know how it is. Keep pushing.
Keep on edge. Just keep on edge.
We'll definitely do that, Paul. We'll get the beer on for you and hopefully get you back up at some point here as well. I know you're working right now too, but great stuff as always. Thanks everybody who tuned in, and we will look forward to catching you guys next week, if not before. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.